7 different stores. What do you say? Abe?
John, they close at 5. You're wasting daylight.
This couple knows what they're doing. Collier & Thompson is first class, top-of-the-line products with high-quality work. If something goes wrong, my guy Matthew will go back and help out. Collier & Thompson remodels kitchens, bathrooms, man caves, office space, bars, wine rooms, even fireplace walls. Their 10,000-square-foot showroom with more than 20 kitchen displays is on Manchester Road in Baldwin, right next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Let Collier & Thompson bring your dream remodel to reality online at collierandthompson.com.
Hey, you. It's Dr. Pryor. If your mouth's been getting more action from late-night pizza than it has from a toothbrush, it's time to come see me. At 100 West Dental, we know how to clean up your act and your smile. Whether it's overdue cleanings, a chipped tooth from a wild weekend, or just getting that fresh, I'm definitely not hungover grin, we got you covered. Look, we know you're not shy, so why shy away from getting your teeth right? Book your free consultation at 100westdental.com and let's give you something to smile about. Because, hey, you deserve to be as smooth as Tim's golf swing.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s. And now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Hi, this is Chris Pondoff from Illinois Recovery Center. As someone who battled alcoholism and addiction for 20 plus years, I understand the dark places you can find yourself stuck in. Alcoholism and substance abuse takes a heavy toll on your body and your mind, but you can overcome it. Start your journey to recovery at the Illinois Recovery Center, a rehab treatment center that provides comprehensive and customized rehabilitation addiction treatment. If you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, please know that there is hope. Visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com today.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling, online at designairservice.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Want to take on some legends of TMA?
Sound the same to someone who gives a damn about the best fans in baseball! Tired of it!
The show's so great. Will there be a little speaker system out behind the dumpster so in case you're servicing me, I'll be able to hear my name?
Then nominate yourself to be this month's TMA Listener of the Month. And if you win, you'll get recognition and other stuff. Sometimes all you have to do to win the prize is be a female.
All it takes is one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course.
Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information at TMASTL.com. The TMA Listener of the Month Club, quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of tequila with Milagro. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown & Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to TMA. It's presented to you by Brown & Crouppen. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Doug, nothing but phone calls. Let's do it.
Okay.
Callier and
Not even
Thompson
gonna
phone
give
lines.
a quick weekend wrap up, or we wait for a balloon party for that.
That's the Little Piddles weekend wrap.
Okay.
6369004 TMA, Callier and Thompson phone lines. Schaefer Door Company, sponsor of the text inbox 314-881 TMA5. Design Air, sponsor of the email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And I think people type out their text and then right at 7:07 they hit send, because that's what I see in the text inbox.
It's almost like they're texting squatters.
Yeah. Now the texts are being read before my very eyes. Who's reading the texts? You are.
Yeah, I'm just clicking on them.
So I look. Iggy doesn't have a laptop. Doug doesn't have a laptop.
No.
Jackson doesn't have a laptop. He has a desktop.
I
Desktop.
see that, yeah. I like
And I saw them turning from bold. I know that doing the show can be monotonous at times. I hope you guys have the same fighting spirit today that the Cardinals have had the last few games. That's from Just Don't Press Push.
Doug was telling me before the show that he really likes what his Cardinal bunch is showing.
Not over yet, fellas. 19 to play and 6 out in the wild card. If they win all 19, we're right back in this thing.
Well, Katie Woo
Woo. Katie Woo.
wrote, despite hovering around 500 for most of the second half, the Cardinals have declared their intentions to compete for the 2024 postseason. Barring a late September miracle, those claims no longer appear realistic.
They declare that they intend to try?
I also declare that I'm trying to win the World Series.
Nice.
What else would you declare? We've given up?
So she's asking the question, what will the rotation look like to finish the year?
Oh.
Miles Michaelis, complete game shutout yesterday. So the
He was
Cardinals,
very good. Yeah.
7 runs, 6 earned, 9 hits over 2 innings.
2 frames.
Cardinals must figure out how they like their rotation to look to close out the season. Michaelis, Gray, Fetty, Gibson, Palante, Matz, and Lynn. So great options.
Well, a little aged. A little bit aged.
Well, 2 of them are top of your rotation next year. Sonny Gray followed by Matz and Michaelis.
Probably so. Probably so. You know,
Morning.
Hello, we're here. Michaelis was as bad as he's been all year yesterday, I think. But big picture, somebody had the stats I saw a couple weeks ago. He's like top 5 in quality starts in the National League over the last year or two. I couldn't believe what I was reading, but some of his stats were impressive. And his start before this one, he made an error for like the first time in 6 years.
Well, they're not really hitting soft balls back to him. They're usually getting crushed.
Well, that wasn't very nice. I'm just trying to find something positive. Sometimes after a day where you get rocked, you just think, well, this guy's horrific and he's terrible. He's never going to be any good. He's kind of like the team. He's about 500 pitcher.
But overall, I feel pretty good about where the club is. Obviously,
Well, you shouldn't feel that good. You shouldn't feel that good about the club.
Here, I'll lift your spirits. Jake Reynolds. Morning, boys. I want to give a big thank you to KG for all his great content for the show. His cooking show has been must-watch. He's doing a cooking show?
I didn't know about it.
You're doing a cooking show?
Less of a show, more of a segment.
What's it?
Huh. A segment's like a part of a show.
Yeah, well, what's the show that is, would you call it the umbrella?
Yeah, the show proper.
I've been calling it 60-second food porn.
Where does this air?
On my Instagram.
What are you doing on there?
Just whipping up treats and making love to the camera.
What are you wearing?
I'll be honest, not a lot.
Oh, wow. I gotta watch that. His cooking shows have been must-watch, and it's an absolute pleasure to have him on the show. Thanks, boys. It's from Jake Reynolds,
Gosh,
Doug.
it's nice to hear
That's the
such
Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, August 2024.
So positive. Such a friendly way to begin a week. It's a little pick-me-up. Thank you, Jakey. Big mistakey.
No, it's
a different
Jake,
guy?
Different guy.
Okay.
All right, Doug, we'll pivot off the Cardinals. Missouri, Buffalo, ILL, Rock Chalk, Fight Tiger, Fighting Illini. Wearing the old school uniforms, too. Big fan. And beating Rock Chalk, something where Missouri and Illinois fans can bond in their celebration.
Right. Well, as good and as dominant as Missouri is, part of me still feels like I don't know exactly what they have yet.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with that. That's right. That's right. I mean, I can't argue with not allowing teams to score, but,
Yeah.
you know, obviously they played butt asses little different program this coming Saturday.
This will be the test, Boston College, right?
Boston College is now ranked after beating up on Duquesne. Duquesne came in as the number 9 team in the country, and they left Chestnut Hill with their tails between their leggings.
I don't think Duquesne has ever been ranked. I didn't even know they had a football squadron. I thought it was one of those A-10 schools that just played hoops.
They're going to be playing this in Boston.
Yeah, this is fighting words. I guarantee you they're not talking about the Patriots or Red Sox or Celtics or Bruins.
It's a good thing we have them here. Because this Boston College bunch, they'll come in loaded for bear.
Let me ask you a question, and I'll ask this to Gabe, too. The way they played Saturday, can they play like that next Saturday and beat Boston College?
So you thought they played poorly, I gather.
There's still some things. I mean, way too many penalties. I mean, overthrown balls. Brady Cook still isn't hitting the long ball. I don't know. Defensively, yeah, but offensively, they just don't seem to be there yet.
You're not sold.
Well, they played 2 butt asses, like Tim said, but, I don't know much about Boston College, but could they beat Boston College playing like they did last Saturday?
Well, okay, put that one in your hip pocket.
Yeah, ask the Colonel. Ask the Colonel, coming your way at 9 o'clock, brought to you by James Carlton. I don't really know what you got with Boston College. That's at the center. You're not necessarily sure what you have with them. I guess none of us are really sure because it's been Murray State and Buffalo. But I suppose, Doug, do you like the transitive property?
No.
The transitive property can poke holes in it left and right. Florida State comes in, top 10 team. They go to Dublin. They lose to Georgia Tech. Then Boston College goes into Tallahassee. They beat Florida State. Florida State's 0-2 out of the top 25. Boston College, of course, with the wins over the Seminoles and now Duquesne, who was number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech goes up to Syracuse, and they lose to Syracuse. So Georgia Tech now has that on their resume, and maybe it's as simple as the perception of Boston College is based on beating a team that just isn't very good. That'd be really tough to imagine, but and by that I mean because Florida State has just this ridiculous defensive line, but that defensive line's been pushed around in the 2 games we've seen them by the ground attacks of Georgia Tech and Boston College for however many people actually have watched that nonsense, which I did because that's what I get into, Doug, that and girl activities.
Well, that wasn't on this weekend, though, was it?
Oh, you can always find it.
Oh, with all the sports.
But I think Abigail Mack's done shooting new content. Is she done shooting new?
I don't know.
Girl on girl, whatever. That's hot.
Okay.
Right.
Didn't take us
Is that
long.
Perk?
Yeah.
Why is she talking lesbianism? Is this the day I was out and you guys really got into it? You and Joey Vitale.
I stopped everybody mid-show. I was like, we're not talking about the trade deadline. We're talking about girl on girl.
And you insisted on it.
That's
for
right.
you.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, that's
it.
the right move.
Yeah. And to Iggy, your point, for as bad, I don't think necessarily that the playbook has been fully spread out. I think there is some.
They're doing the old 2023 trick?
Yesterday or Saturday, much more so than I felt against Murray State in that first quarter. It was just kind of Theo Wee's comeback routes, and they weren't stopping it at all. I mean, he had 13 receptions for 150 yards, so on 14 targets, by the way. So there was efficiency in the passing game, but Nate Noel was really efficient with his runs, and when your defense is as stifling as that, I don't know if your need on offense to really, really try to spread the ball around, throw it super deep, especially without Luther, especially without Brett Norfleet. Let's get into next week healthy and come out. Now, that's the optimistic view of Mizzou, but I didn't think they looked incredible, but they certainly did enough to smoke the Buffalo Bulls. So,
well, hell, they's on scholarship, too.
No doubt.
Iggy, I didn't anticipate this, but there are a number of texts that have come into the Schaefer Door Company text inbox insistent that you did not watch the game. I guarantee you he does not have ESPN Plus and didn't watch the game. That's Harrison's brother Mast. No chance he watched the game. Did Iggy actually watch the game? That's from the 314. And then Chairman Stephen Wildwood. Iggy, you don't have to say, let me ask you a question. Just ask. I agree with Iggy, but I think he's regurgitating what they said on the broadcast. Missed opportunities on offense. Can't do that with good teams. Iggy, your chance to refute these texters who were, Doug, they were at the ready is what they were.
They really were.
Well, some say I didn't watch it, and Steve's saying, my takes are from the broadcast. No, you don't need to watch I did watch the game, but you don't need to listen to the broadcast. They had, 11 penalties, and Brady Cook overthrew about 5 guys. You don't need the announcers to tell you that. But of course I watch the game.
Where'd you watch it?
At home. And I do have ESPN Plus. I had trouble finding it because I thought ESPN Plus was on my YouTube. But I had to go to my Hulu, where I have Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus.
There you go.
So, yeah, I watched the game, and Steve, no, I didn't take my takes from the, I couldn't even tell you who the announcers were.
Fozzie Whitaker, right?
I was.
So we got the A team
watching on the broadcast.
Where were you watching? Oh, you were there.
Columbia.
How was the atmosphere? Fight Tiger.
Really good. I mean, packed to the gills.
God bless America for Buffalo. It's 6 o'clock on a Saturday.
I'll tell you what, at Faurot Field, they give each fan on those bleachers about 1.5 feet of metal for your ass.
There's some
sit.
grievances that because there aren't actual ticket numbers and seat numbers, that people are just kind of showing up and taking spots, and you just got to deal with it. Either you stand your ground, Doug, or else you're just going to be moved around.
Well, as you can imagine, some of the fans have had themselves a couple of
libations
and maybe some pulled pork sandwiches or something.
Oh, so they've bulked up?
Well, maybe their ass is a touch wider than some
Oh,
others.
now we're fat shaming
So
on the show today.
You're sitting in the bleachers like this, like shoulder, like trying to angle yourself because there's just no room. But I'd rather that be the case than I could spread out and lie down the bleachers because no one's at the game. So the energy was good. It was beautiful. I mean, it was a perfect day for tailgating and watching football.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game.
Starting to get a little cool at night.
Yeah, I brought this little bad boy out. This little number
Fight Tiger.
Right in my back pocket. So the energy was really good.
So let me get this straight. As a fan base, our asses have gotten so fat, there's not room for one person in one assigned seat.
I think it's the Midwestern ass in general.
Oh, wow. Coastal elitist right there.
Well, I don't think it's a Missouri problem only. You can even look at some of the head coaches of some teams in the Midwest and say,
Oh, now you're going after ILL.
Maybe I was going after Sam Pittman and his milky breasts.
Milky. Doug, Arkansas should have won that game and still won. 14-0, 21-7. What are we doing, managing the clock at the end of the game? Oh, Arkansas.
Well, I don't worry too much about the pigs.
Does your ticket have a number on it?
Yeah, I mean, you technically have a seat
But
number.
do you agree that they're not adhered to?
People bring those little, like, mini seats that you put on the bleachers so you have a back to it, which take up more space than your actual seat is allowed.
Oh, no.
Well, do you summon an usher and say, get him out of here?
No.
Well,
There's
you
like
can't.
2 ushers per massive section.
You wouldn't even know where to sit. I think he's in my seat. How do you know? I mean, because seat 3, well, there's no number here.
They are numbered, but they're not, people don't really adhere to it.
I'd kick him out.
The buddy, my friend who I go to the games with is
Herb.
No, Mark. He's 6'6", and he's
Doug,
takes
wouldn't
up
you like to get your hands on Mark?
Boy, he sounds tall.
He takes up more space than the average human as well.
Those are usually the people I sit behind at concerts. Yeah. Oh, it's open seat. Nope, here comes Wilt Chamberlain going to sit right in front of me.
Guys, Buffalo's coach could have used a strategic beard. It's from Doug's prison
I
wallet.
didn't even get a look at Buffalo's coach. Take a look.
I did like that he called the timeout at the end of the first half to try to ice the kicker.
I saw that.
What was it, 24-0 or something like that? That was good.
Do you think when these blood donor teams get back on the plane at the end of the Saturday in this faraway land where they're playing a game just for the money, you think the coach and the athletic director slap each other on the backs and say, well, it was worth it. We got our cash.
Well, they did at Northern Illinois. They probably just took a little car ride from South Bend, Indiana to celebrate their victory over the Fighting Irish, Doug. Marcus Freeman celebrated in College Station, and he mourns in South Bend. What in God's name?
Well, Northern Illinois is now ranked.
They are. They're number 25.
Yeah.
Take a listen to the call of the 62-yard field goal that Notre Dame attempted at the end as they trailed 16-14.
It was close.
Against Northern Illinois on Saturday afternoon.
This is the NIU broadcast.
Oh.
He's lining it up. 5 seconds left. NIU up 16-14. 62-yarder. Snap, hold, Jeter's kick. It's blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked! Picked up by NIU! Picked up by NIU! The Huskies have done it! The Huskies with the biggest upset in NIU history! They come to South Bend, Indiana, and they knock off the number 5 team in the country. NIU 16, Notre Dame 14. The football gods were shining down on NIU.
How about that?
Student broadcaster?
Pretty good call, not bad.
If not student, probably really young, but that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
I like a local broadcast like that.
Here, we'll take your $1.4 million and we'll give you a loss. God almighty.
Yeah. Well, there's on scholarship, too.
There was a
I don't
bunch
think
of
most of them are.
There's a bunch of teams flirting with the same thing Notre Dame was doing over this weekend. There's some teams getting a little too comfortable, including a Missouri opponent, a big Missouri opponent, Roll Dam Tide. That score was not reflective of that game.
Yeah, I don't know what this says for me, but I was watching that and I was going, I think South Florida might be able to win this. Oklahoma had some issues with Houston. Now, Houston's a little different than South Florida, at least I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Alabama's got a South Florida problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Boise State's certainly a different level than those others, but Oregon, I woke up thinking, God, is there a chance that Boise State won that game? I went to bed. Boise State was winning. That's back-to-back weeks, Doug. Oregon has a problem with the state of Idaho. They had the Vandals the week before, and Boise State this week nearly beat them. So Missouri leapt over Oregon in the polls, and 6 of the top 7 teams in the country are from the SEC in the AP poll, which, of course, in parentheses, means nothing. Georgia, number 1. Texas beats the hell out of Michigan. Ohio State is the one Big Ten representation in the top 7, and then Roll Tide, Ole Miss, Missouri, and Tennessee, which put a hurting on the previously ranked North Carolina State Wolfpack. Boston College, by the way, checking in at 24.
Right. Yeah, there's some. Penn State.
Illinois just on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
13 votes back of Northern Illinois.
Penn State flirting with Connor Bazelak and Bowling Green.
That's another one.
Yeah.
And Connor Bazelak was on fire in the first half.
It's been a while since Illinois was a factor at all. They've strung together a lot of pretty disappointing seasons.
Yeah.
So to see them come to life a little bit is nice.
Just quickly on Bazelak, I saw SEC Mike, who does the SEC podcast.
Doug, SEC Mike, do you listen to his podcast?
No, I don't.
He had a great tweet. He said, because Connor Bazelak was playing with Bowling Green and they were beating Penn State, Connor Bazelak was at Missouri before Eli Drinkwitz, and Drinkwitz is the 3rd most tenured head coach in the SEC.
Wow, that is a good tweet from SEC Mike. Is that right?
Yes.
I was thinking, because he was the quarterback at Boston College when they played him in 21, and I'm like, I think he was around before that.
Yes.
So he was around in 19?
Yes.
So he had the trip to Laramie?
Yeah, he would have been. I think he might have been redshirting at the time.
My
But yeah,
Did he go to Indiana, too?
Indiana
He did.
right after Mizzou, and then this is his 2nd year at Bowling Green. And
So
that's
he's
his final year.
He's about 37 now.
He's 36. He turns 37 at the end of the month. You're
You're
right.
younger than me.
ILL should improve to 3-0, and therefore you would think that they would be a top 25 team when they head to Lincoln, Nebraska. You get some good pieces of information on College Game Day. For Reese Davis, and this, you had to have been watching it, of course, but Reese Davis said at the end, I don't really feel like he oftentimes gets too adamant with his predictions, but right at the end, before they started that 11 o'clock kickoff at Ann Arbor, he said, Texas is going to come in here and they're going to win big. And I'm like, I didn't really Reese Davis's thing. That's, usually one of like the McAfee kind of things. And man, was he on target. That would kind of fall in the category of sweat-free, free money for those who had it, because Texas was only giving up 3 points. Number of guys on that dais were high on Arkansas winning straight up, and I think because it went into overtime and they had to go for 2, the spread was 7.5. So if you're an Arkansas fan, you're like, we're gold. We're going overtime. We're covering. But once Oklahoma State got the 2-point conversion, Arkansas actually doesn't cover, so that would have been brutal. And I think 39-31 was the final score, so Oklahoma State covers by a half point. And then there was, I can't recall the other game that they were really high on, a team that you would not have necessarily thought. But specific to Texas and Michigan, they felt like Michigan was living on the reputation from the previous year, and they have lost 20 players and Jim Harbaugh, and now Michigan is number 17 in the country. But here comes Nebraska beating up on Deion Sanders in Colorado, and so perhaps we'll have 2 ranked teams in Champaign, or in Lincoln, excuse me, in 2 weeks when Illinois goes there. Doug, we got ILL, we got the Gers, and they're on a collision course for a rematch from 2008 in Atlanta for the national championship on January 20th.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like you're sold.
Well, no. I was thinking, I kind of like it when a team like Nebraska is good again, because they were such a force for so many years, and they just completely fell apart.
Jackson doesn't even know what life is like with Nebraska good.
For real.
No.
And
He
that's
doesn't.
that's what they have up there. Nebraska football was, that had the entire state interest, for years and years. Nebraska football was the thing up there.
How do you know they're good? And they become.
Well, they're off to a good start.
I didn't see the end of the game. I saw just some clips of the end of the game where Shakir Sanders just leaves the field with 2 minutes left of the game. Team's getting killed. He just walks to the locker room.
Did you say Shakira?
It's Shador.
Shador.
And he was hurt.
Was he?
That's what they said. They said they evaluated him.
Didn't look hurt. Played the whole game.
Yeah.
Shakira. Remember that Doug Wyclef Jean?
I don't know.
2006? Hips Don't Lie?
I don't know the years, Tim.
Come on tonight. She has a funny way of singing.
Yeah, what's going on there, you think?
I don't know. Might be an accent thing. Very,
nasally?
Kind of like top of the throat.
Top of the throat. Top of the throat to you.
Doug, make an embouchure real quick.
Right there. I had that when I played the licorice stick. They said, watch your embouchure.
Can we talk about Ken's attempt at engagement farming this past weekend with another scolding hot WNBA Angel Reese take? That's from Nathan from the east side of home. How many shows are going on this show? You have KG and O-Town's doing a cooking segment. Iggy, you're doing a WNBA show?
I just tweeted.
What'd you
It's not a
tweet?
show.
What'd you tweet?
Well, Cheryl Swoops is just. Her and Nancy Lieberman have gotten. I know Nancy Lieberman. She used to. I don't know why. I used to get her on the program all the time. And I always enjoyed her. But she just called Cheryl Swoops. Cheryl Swoops got all these stats wrong about. Because she's a big Angel Reese girl, and she thinks Caitlin Clark gets way too much attention. And she had all these stats that were wrong, saying that Caitlin Clark was a 5-year. She played there for 5 years. She, took 40 shots a game, and she's just throwing all this crap out. And Nancy Lieberman said she called her and said, "Look, I consider you a friend, but if you're going to throw stuff out, at least be right." And then Cheryl Swoops just said, "I'm done with you." So I just threw out. I said, "For the record, Cheryl Swoops, Caitlin Clark has better numbers on her rookie year than you had your MVP year."
Oh, you cut her right at the knees. Chopped her at the knees.
I'm gaslighting you.
Gaslight her. I threw stats out. She throws wrong stats out.
Yeah.
I threw stats out that her numbers her rookie year are better than your numbers were when you won the MVP.
You think that tweet rattled around in the hallways of the WNBA offices?
I didn't go back and look. I don't know if anybody liked it. Probably not. It was a WNBA take, so probably nothing. But no, these people just throw it. I mean, you like one person, you like another person, so you just make up stuff about the other person. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Can I please have the text inbox name Shakira Sanders? That's from Zach's wife, Gummy. Jackson, do you have to authorize these name changes? It's like Lou Alcindor, Cassius Clay, Zach's wife, Gummy.
I didn't approve. I wasn't the one in charge of maybe Kareem's name, but I'll take care of this guy.
Hey guys, She-Wolf's a banger. I like when Shakira howls. Doug, do you like She-Wolf? That's from the Kansas City Gray Sox.
Those hips don't lie?
Different song.
Oh.
She does kind of howl. Jackson, do you have the Shakira drop of her howl?
Oh.
She's still
You
wrong.
mean you don't have that ready? You didn't know we'd get to that?
Yeah,
so soon?
Shakira howling on She-Wolf. Sweet, Sweet Kai's active. And he's a married man now? Or he's engaged?
I don't
Engaged,
know.
certainly. Thanks.
We truly cannot escape the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese takes from Ken. Someone make it stop!
Oh.
It's from Kwame Voyukas IV.
Well, then stop texting in about it. I just answered a text.
Yeah.
It's true. He's right.
WNBA, is that like one of your favorite sports now?
I think I've watched every one of Caitlin Clark's game because for some, I don't know how, but on YouTube I got the OLN network, Olin network.
I said I don't even follow Chicks Hoops.
I do not. Well, I do because of her.
Yeah.
Angel Reese done for the year, fake injury.
Fake injury.
Even Jackson got activated there. Look, that was a farming and you got engaged.
That's twice now you've said people are faking injury.
Why would she fake an injury?
No, because then at the end of the year when she doesn't win Rookie of the Year, I would have won if I played the rest of the season. That'll be an excuse.
Really?
I don't know how she hurt her wrist.
Don't they have the playoffs still coming up?
She fell down and land on her wrist. Either way.
Okay.
Doug, I stayed at the Drury East in Como, and the people next door to us had the loudest bang session I've ever heard. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko. Were you next door to the
No,
Warson?
I was not there. I did not make the trip.
Drury East. Warson Woods Wacky. You can do better than that.
Oh, wow. Jackson's hotel shaming.
You get what you can get. Rooms
Yeah,
are tough
for
to
real.
come
Yeah,
by.
I mean,
it's
what
no
if-
joke. I'm messing around. That's absolutely, it's hard to get rooms.
Yeah.
Especially for the Buffalo game, you think you could stay, right at the Broadway or the Tiger, but it is hard getting hotel rooms.
And you would think they would simply build more hotels, but then they'd sit empty for
That's exactly
like 350
right. That's exactly
nights
right.
of the year.
It'd be great. It's great for, the football weekends or homecoming
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but it's just, it would sit bare. Like the Tiger and Broadway sit mostly empty most of the year.
You'd think that would make for a target-rich environment for the Airbnbers.
And they do. They probably make bank.
Long Balls is laughing at the Warson Woods Wacko. LMAO, WWW, I think that stands for Warson Woods Wacko, truly does not have a seven-figure net worth.
Just because he had to settle for the Drury Inn East?
No, I'm sorry. LMAO, WWW, truly does only have a seven-figure net worth.
Only seven-figure. It's only maybe $1 million or so.
Less than 2 miles from the stadium. Just down Stadium
So
Boulevard.
if you stay at Drury
What's wrong
East,
with the Drury
you're,
Inn?
quote, only a millionaire. Is that the deal?
I don't know.
Where do, like, the multimillionaires stay?
They arrive that day and leave that day.
Is there a body of water anywhere close?
No, the Missouri down there in Jeff City.
There you go.
Yeah.
You bring your yacht down there and then you
Absolutely.
The rec center has a grotto.
and helicopter in.
I guess maybe you could have somebody drive you in a limousine or something. Party bus.
Helicopter like drink to a high school
RV
football game.
vehicle. Yeah.
What do you think those people for Buffalo stayed? They had a pretty big crowd there.
They probably caught the first flight out. Wouldn't be a bad idea to rent a fancy RV and park it somewhere there, just spend the night there.
Yeah.
The Drury East is the Wake Forest of lodging. That's from Doug's prison wallet.
What's wrong with Wake Forest?
I don't
We have a
know.
lot of-
Yeah, what's going on with Wake
I
Forest?
thought it was kind of a ritzy school, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
I mean, it's good ACC school.
Smallest of the ACC schools. I believe.
Smaller than
Ooh,
Duke?
yeah, I was going to say.
I think it's really small for all the athletic
This is interesting.
success they've had.
James Carlton just texted me, and he says, Drury East is the Ritz-Carlton of Columbia.
Is it really?
Must have paper-thin walls. We can hear people banging next door.
Maybe it was just a good rogering. You think it was a jackhammering?
Oh,
Duke is much bigger than Wake Forest. Has a 8,000 student enrollment. Duke has 18,000.
The Drury would be the third nicest hotel in Columbia. I never mind the fact that the other football team is staying at the Broadway. It's from the 636.
100%. The other teams always stay at the Broadway.
oh, they did.
Are we really doing this again? Clark versus Reese? Cut it!
Oh,
Get back to the coffee machine! It's from the South City Hoosier
God,
aficionado.
a coffee
I
machine.
don't know what it means.
we do have a wonderful coffee machine here.
There you go.
It is nice.
Yeah, hot chocolate. comes out of
Mr.
there,
Lick
too.
says regarding the Warson Woods Wacko staying at the Drury East, this is completely unsurprising. What is this Drury East? This
Absolutely
Drury? Are we doing a
nothing
live
wrong
read?
with the Drury Inn.
Where's he supposed to stay? In his car, he found a place to sleep. And he probably upgraded to a suite, so he probably spent more money than anybody else.
Yeah. I bet there's been thousands of people that would love to have won a spot at the Drury East.
And I don't believe they have suites there.
Why do all these low cost of living a-holes worry about money so much? Is it because people in hell want ice water? That's from Nate in Tallahassee, and he's mocking people in St. Louis talking about money.
Because we have so much of it.
St. Louis rules.
Yeah, it does.
Doug Munganast rules. They're online at stlouisacura.com and
certainly do.
altontoyota.com. Jamie Burkhardt, Peter Munganast, and Ryan Seiberg. Online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. If you're in the market for a new car or pre-owned car, all you got to do is go to stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com and you go shopping. Our 7 o'clock hour sponsor and official automotive provider here on TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast presenting sponsor of Balloon Party. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura. Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Even if you didn't get your car from Munganast, St. Louis Acura, Munganast, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, get it serviced there. You'll be thrilled that you did. stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Doug, we got a title sponsor, and Brown & Krupin's the name of the title sponsor.
That's who they are. If you've been injured in an auto wreck or just the cause of someone else's negligence in general, Brown & Crouppen is right there to help you get some justice. If you have a potential personal injury case, Brown & Crouppen is a local law firm here to serve you. They'll see you too, but they'd rather serve you. You're going to see a lot of TV commercials with people from out of town claiming that they know everything about the St. Louis local scene. Not the case. Brown & Crouppen's been here since 1979. They know the ins and outs of the local scene. They know the other lawyers and the judges and how the courts work here. This is who you're going to want on your side when you really need them. Here's how it works. You give them a call at 314-222-2222, and they will give you a free evaluation. They'll talk your case over on the phone. If they think that you do have a solid case and a great chance to win, they'll work on a contingency basis. No upfront cost to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. And they've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. Their firm has grown to include more than 250 legal professionals now. They have someone there to serve you and get you what you deserve. Again, the number 314-222-2222, or you go to brownandcrouppen.com and make sure you let them know you heard about it. Here on TMA, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
I paid $1,800 for 2 nights at the Drury East for homecoming, and I would have paid $2,800. I hope to God these people are my neighbors again. That's from the Wars and Woods Wacko. And I guess he's talking about the people that were jackhammering?
Gosh. So it's more than
$900 a night for the Drury Inn?
No, didn't he say 1,000 for 2 nights?
$1,800 for 2 nights. Iggy's math is correct. It checks.
It doesn't. A little over $500 a night.
$1,800
for 2 nights.
Divided by 2.
Oh, I thought he said 1,000.
Come on, Einstein.
Yeah. Okay. 900. It can't be. It can't be 900 a night.
No, I wouldn't think so.
I guess a lot of War Eagle fans are coming? Yeah. The Drury East is the Angel Reese of Columbia Hotels. That's from Ernie Bjorkman.
$100 a night.
Homecoming. For homecoming.
Really?
Homecoming is,
What would the Ritz cost you in Carlton a night here? In Clayton, rather?
I don't know.
Under that all day long.
Yeah,
it's just a supply and demand thing for those weekends. They get 6, 7 of them a year, and
homecoming being the biggest one. And maybe Oklahoma game this year will probably be more expensive.
They have 6 or 7 home games this year. Is a third of the home schedule already gone?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Only 1 home game in October.
7 home games, but one of them is the Arkansas game after Black Friday.
Got it. But it's on Saturday this year, right?
Yes.
Could you pass a law, could you put it like in the books and vote on it to stop price gouging?
Oh, nice.
I mean, a hotel probably costs $89 a night, and then homecoming, $900. Stop.
Well, it's done all over the place.
I know it is, and it's stupid.
Supply and demand.
Yeah, but then it's dynamic. So, like on days where there is low demand, you can get a much cheaper room. It goes back and forth. Because what's it? Heads in beds, asses in the seats.
Watch your language.
Guns and butter.
Yeah.
Guns and butter. Yeah, Walter Johnson.
Yeah.
I walked by his auditorium this weekend.
Walter Johnson.
Yeah, at Middlebush.
Well, we should stop. It's the same with people bitch about gas prices and grocery prices. They just price gouging. They just up it up because you're going to pay. Same in electricity.
Well, it hadn't
you can't vote for Bear today.
Hadn't really been that the case with
It's an economics.
because the grocery store companies have had to pay a lot of money on down the line too.
Right.
Inflation has affected their suppliers and everything they do, their labor and their costs. They've had to raise their prices just to keep up. It's a little different when you charge $900 for a hotel room that's usually $89. That's a little different situation.
I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Because you can get it, so just go ahead and let's up it up. Yeah. Same with baseball tickets and parking. Parking is usually $15. Big game tonight, parking's $80. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the case with a lot of things. Here's one car that you can buy for $10,000. Here's another one that's $250,000.
This week on Renter's Roundtable Economics 101, Supply and Demand. That's from Harrison's Brother Master. Can I send Iggy to an economics class? Iggy, aren't you supposed to be at the Megan Meyer Foundation today? What's going on at the Megan Meyer Foundation today?
That's our golf tournament today.
Oh, yeah. You usually do play in that, don't you?
I do, but I didn't know if I had any personal days left, so I just didn't worry about it. I'll go out there after I'm done.
Oh, where is it?
Where is it? Where are they ball striking?
Out of Wing Haven.
Swing Haven.
Well, according to the fake guy.
Swing Haven board member.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll head out after this. And
What time did it start?
I think we tee off at 10:30.
Okay.
Well, I don't tee off at 10:30.
Well, you could still almost make it.
Yeah, ball strike.
Yeah, just go out there and hop in a cart and just drive around and say hi to everybody.
Okay.
You know, the president of the foundation, I should probably show up to some of these events.
You would think. You would think so, yeah. Do some glad handing.
And I'll help out the volunteers. You know, if we need to ice up more beer or stuff like that. We got, I think, 3 different tents with margarita hole, another hole with some different drinks. So I'll probably just hang out.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you could go to a par 3 and hit a shot for each foursome.
Oh, yeah. Celebrity shot, celebrity shot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these people don't know who I am.
Oh.
I don't know. A lot of
Where
our
have they been?
I don't know. A lot of our Megan Meyer Foundation listeners don't really listen to this show, or people that take part in our events really don't listen to the show.
Yeah,
so
good for them.
They really don't know who I am.
Guys, can I buy some advertising on your show? I want it to play on TMA, but I want to pay Pepper and Genie ad rates. It's a fair deal. Thanks. That's from Mr. Big Cream.
Marketing.
Well, see, I would be honest.
You would.
I said, what do you charge for Pepper and Genie? Well, $150 a spot. I'd rather pay.
Damn. For a podcast that hasn't existed in 2 years?
I'd rather pay $400. No, I'm not going to. I don't want you to pay $400. It's only $150. Just pay your $150. I would be honest with the person.
Would you?
Why pay $400? We're only charging $150.
Yeah.
I'm not going to gouge you.
No. Although you could if you wanted.
Imagine spending less than $1,000 a night on a hotel and thinking it's a flex. Let me just say this. I don't stay anywhere unless it has a helipad.
No.
It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to Chopper Inn. I just want to know that I can. That's from Mr. Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Yeah,
when you're in Colombia watching the Tigers, you just need a bed and hopefully some air conditioning. That's about it.
Even a floor's all right.
Yeah,
if it's
it really.
carpeting.
I mean, let's be honest here. We're not going for the luxury.
Iggy, we are still doing this? Jesus. It's from the Swing David board member. He's frustrated that you don't believe he's real.
Well, bring the girl in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would end it, wouldn't it?
That would end it. And we can compare her to one
And
of
you
our
would just meet them off the air. You don't even need her to be on cam.
No, but I also need to be reminded of her picture again because I forgot what she looked like.
No, it sounds like we're going to get a Swing Haven board member picture.
I'd have to see the picture and then see her. And maybe it's taking so long because this girl that he steals the pictures from Facebook, he can't get a hold of her to come in. So,
You. Hi, Iggy. How are you?
There it is, right there. Every ball mark better be repaired on the green, Strode. I'm holding you accountable. That's from Harrison's brother Master.
I'm not playing.
I think he is like either a member or plays out there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's trying to
I think
throw
that's
his
what
weight around a little.
Well, I'm not playing, so I'm not going to go around and fix ball marks.
Would be a nice gesture if you did.
I do when I play. If people, that's a pet peeve of mine. People just don't repair ball marks. You get up to the green, there's like 9. God, just replace them. So I walk around the green and fix them when I see them. And some people don't know how to replace ball marks either. They don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Tim's very good at it.
Tim's the best.
I'm one of the best ball mark replace guys in the country.
Such an unnecessary eliminating remark.
Jackson, why didn't you check to see if Iggy had any personal days left? That's from Painter Guy. I don't know what it means, though. Are you in charge of personal days and vacation? Is it personal days the same as vacation? Am I wrong? Is
I
my
think it's
nurse?
all the same thing. But I'm not Iggy's executive assistant, so I don't know what his. I have no idea how many vacation, personal, sick days he has.
I'm sure I could have texted Tommy and said it's our Mega Marathon Foundation tournament. He said, "Sure, take off."
100%.
I know he would.
Or just requested it on the app.
But I just didn't worry about it. So, I mean, I'll go out there anyway. I didn't need to get out there that early. So I'll just leave after 45. We don't tee off till 10:30.
There you go. Balls in the air, 10:30.
Okay.
Francesa gave a fire take on those god-awful Giants uniforms yesterday. That's from Nathan from the east side of Alton. Chairman Kurt and Jackson did pull a lot of audio today. Is that...
Oh, yeah.
It's in there? Yes, there it is. Doug, audio cut number 10. Did you see the Giants uniforms?
I saw a picture of them.
I saw them take the field, and I thought... I knew they were throwbacks, because it's the 100th anniversary of the New York Giants football franchise. Wow.
Century red.
Now, are they making up the throwbacks?
Is that like city red? This looked red to me, not pink.
It's one of you do the nonsense they did with the jersey and then throw it onto Rams era putrid gold pants.
Millennium gold. Remember that, Doug?
Yeah. And you get, matter of fact, the worst looking helmet and jersey and pant combo I've ever seen.
And their uniforms are so cool. That
I know.
Dark blue with the gray.
I like when they put the Giants, like they write out Giants and put it on the helmet. I think that was
that was the 1980s Giants logo.
That looks great. But this was no good. Here's our friend Mike Francis.
Oh, I'd like to hear it.
Thoughts on both the uniforms and the performance.
Yeah, they got booed off the field.
On a day when they honored your past, this is what you were handed. You were handed an absolute disgraceful, embarrassing performance of epic proportions, a non-competitive piece of garbage. And the only thing worse than the Giant performance and the coaching staff's preparation were the uniforms. Please, okay? I don't care if that is an homage. That is an homage to ugliness. That is the worst looking uniform. That's the only thing that was worse in the game was the uniform. That's the worst. Throw them away, please. It's the worst uniform I've ever seen. Why would you recreate that? Okay? But, hey, it's about the only thing that you could have cloaked the Giants in, which would have been equal to their performance today, because that's how bad it was. No offensive line. No running game, no blocking, no protection for the quarterback, no decision-making from the quarterback, no accuracy from the quarterback, no downfield throws, okay? What I see now is a guy who's starting to look like he doesn't have a clue. And to come out and just give that same refrain, it starts with me, we have to do better, we'll clean it up, it starts tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. No one wants to hear that nonsense.
Mike Francis.
Doug, Daniel Jones, problematic. Fortunately for the Giants, they passed on Saquon Barkley, and he didn't do a damn thing this week for the Eagles.
Not even on a slick field. He didn't have 2 touchdowns and more than 100 yards rushing. Yeah, the
Neighbors on my fantasy team. He looked pretty good.
He's okay, but they have no one to throw it to him. They Janoris Jenkins, Doug, you remember him, JJ, big fan on Twitter. He was on Twitter. He was also a teammate of Daniel Jones on the Giants, and he was calling him the doo-doo man.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
And fans were coming back at him like, you weren't very good either. He was like, I don't care. He sucks. He's like, I've always said this guy sucks, and he just kept calling him the doo-doo man.
Doo-doo. See, Daniel Jones had 2 picks, sacked 5 times, quarterback rating of 17.4. QBR, that's it, right?
Yes, he was awful. He threw a pick 6 where the guy he just put his hand, it was like threw it at his chest, and he walked into the end zone.
I had to tell you, I can't believe I'm giving an NFL take outside of the Giants uniform take, which certainly is justified on this particular program.
Yeah.
I was watching Red Zone for, I don't know, about 90 minutes to 2 hours yesterday from 12 to 2. And I think if the Giants and Carolina Panthers got together for a tilt, I think the Giants would win by 30. That's an alarming situation in Charlotte.
God.
And that's probably the end of us talking about the Carolina Panthers for the next decade, but just for the record, holy crap. And the lack of interest from the players in participating in it. Wow, that's a situation there. Keep an eye on that one. We might have another Chicago White Sox situation brewing in Carolina.
I mean, they were selling tickets last year for like a quarter.
Come home to St. Louis, Panthers.
First throw from Bryce Young, picked off. First offensive play, or second offensive play for this, I don't know, it was their first possession, whatever the hell they threw it. Touchdown downfield, corners beaten, no safety help. I mean, it was just, 47-10, I think, was the final.
Correct.
And I don't necessarily think the Saints are a powerhouse.
No. They're going to be decent, but they shouldn't be beating teams by 37 points.
I mean, that's an operation there. Again, I can't imagine anybody else is going to be talking about that. But just as a brief aside, Doug, the Rammies lost. I know you're still pulling for them.
I'm not.
They lost to the Lions.
St. Louis Lions.
God, that offensive line has got so many injuries. They had like 3 guys in that line that were like 5th, 6th, 7th round picks playing yesterday.
Well, the important thing is not what the score was, but how they looked. What kind of uniform do they have? And the game is good enough and entertaining enough that you don't have to come up with these clown uniforms that some of these teams wear from time to time.
How about this? Scott Fowler, who is somebody just sent this in. Thank you for sending it in. He is the columnist for the Charlotte Observer, Doug.
Okay.
In his tweet at 1:49 yesterday afternoon, some progress for Bryce Young. In the first half, his very first pass was intercepted. In the second half, he didn't get picked off until his second pass.
Okay. 100% improvement.
Yeah, and they could have had C.J. Stroud. He was the next pick.
C.J. Stroud goes off, man.
Yeah.
We got to get Brian Henson's comments because it was there for the taking. And Anthony Richardson, Doug, he looked good, but he was outdueled by C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
The AFC South.
29-27 Texans.
Yeah, the AFC South is kind of. Just take a look. Doug.
The Jaguars had it, too.
Jaguar Titans were right there with the Bears, who Caleb Williams threw under 100 yards passing.
God, that was.
Yeah, that's your guy.
No
I've been
offensive
watching-
touchdowns.
I've been watching Hard Knocks, so I've kind of been following this. And you see all the weapons they have, and you figure, oh, this team's going to be an offensive juggernaut. My God.
It's the Bears. They're never an offensive juggernaut.
6'6", special teams, block punt, and 3 field goals. Under 100 yards for him.
Mm-hmm. But they got a W. That's the kind of game that they would lose in years past.
Yeah, defense looks good. I had a Zune on my fantasy team. He had 1 catch.
Okay.
Guys, I live in Charlotte. People love the team. They hate Tepper. Tepper's the owner. And on the Stroud thing, I don't think Stroud would have been good with the Panthers.
Agreed.
It's a mess there. Also, they just approved a stadium renovation. They're not moving anywhere. That's from strap-on number 18.
Yeah, they're not quarterback. I'm not saying like you pick C.J. Stroud, it's a different story, but he's clearly the better quarterback of the two.
Yeah.
Wes Sutter of USA Mortgage with a damning comment, Iggy, and a chance for you to refute it. Guys, Iggy did not want to show up early to the golf tournament because that is when all the work happens. He wants to stroll in there after the work is done. That's Wes Sutter of USA Mortgage.
Well, I'm not a volunteer.
You're the president.
So I wouldn't be doing any work.
But you volunteer your time with the charity.
And I do work. I don't have to. I could just show up and drive around, but I don't. I help the volunteers. They need to ice up beer if they need to take something out to a hole. So for you to say that is just, you're entitled to your opinion, but you've never seen me at an event, so I don't know how you can say that.
You were very gentle with that response, considering he's a sponsor, a stealth sponsor.
Is he?
Yeah.
Don't hear any of his spots.
They
You're
play during
spending
the
money for.
text.
Don't talk about me. I'll talk about myself.
It's Odunze, not neon green sleeve wearing Ozuna. That's him, Carlos Spicy Wiener.
I think I said it, Dunze. How about if I just say Rome? Is that all right with you?
Works for me.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Keenan Allen.
DJ
You
Moore.
got Ozuna. And you got DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
DeAndre Swift.
And Cale Makar,
Cale
Avalanche defenseman, also Bears
DBA
tight
Cole
end.
Kmet, but his real name is Cale Makar.
Correct.
Oh, really?
And Jones, who they like in the backfield, who we're going to use him in punt and kickoff returns. First one through his arms, kicked it 20 yards down the field. Turnover. Feel bad for the guy.
Again, Wes Sutter for Listener of the Year. That's from Ernie Berkman. Is he the leader for Listener of the Year?
Well, he's up there.
I think he was.
He's not a girl, I don't think.
Obviously, I won't be voting for him.
Iggy, don't you miss board meetings too? What the hell does this role of president entail? That's from Ken's Wedding Toast.
You're on the Zoom meetings, right?
It's supposed to be interim, but it's been an interim president for like a year and a half now.
So what do you do as an interim president?
Pretty much nothing. It's just a title. It's just, you need somebody in the foundation to be a president. The president left, so they asked me to do it, and I said, sure.
Why don't they make the person that does all the work the president?
I don't think Tina can be the president.
Why?
I don't know. It's just these foundations have a lot of rules you have to, because we used to only have like 3 meetings a year. Then they changed it. No, 401 or 501c's got to have at least 6 meetings a year. Why do you care how many meetings we have to have?
Oh, gosh.
So we have like board meetings every other month.
I'm sure they're just trying to cut down on fraud. A lot of people saying they're a charitable organization, and they're not really.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you're only allowed to pay like 3 people, too.
It depends on if you're a 501c3 or a what's the other? There's
I think we're
2 kinds.
501.
One's tax exempt, one's not.
Well, we're tax exempt, but you're only allowed to have 3 employees. So Tina, and then we have 2 girls in the office. I mean, you could probably use 5 people in the office.
Well, there's one where you have to be at like a zero sum at the end of the year. Like, you can't make money or lose money. I guess lose money, I don't know about that, but one of them, I don't know, I'm talking out my ass.
Mark Hanna doesn't talk out his ass, does he?
No, sir, Tim. That was a perfect weave, because Mark Hanna doesn't talk out of his ass. What he does is he talks to his clients.
Yeah, he does.
That's what he does, and he talks to them effectively. That's the thing, is a lot of people can run circles around you with their financial knowledge, and Mark Hanna has plenty of that, but the way he conveys his message to his clients. I'm somebody who doesn't know a lot about finance, certainly not a lot about saving money, but as soon as I got on the phone with Mark Hanna, I had that first 20-minute phone call, I learned so much. He helped build me out a plan that's specific to me. It's going to help me out down the road, and if I ever have to call Mark Hanna and maybe change my plan, or I have some questions, I know I can do so, and I know he's excited to talk to me, one of his clients, because he loves talking to all of his clients. He loves helping people out. He is truly a wonderful man. He's extremely intelligent, the exact kind of person you want helping you out with your financial future. Call Mark Hanna today.
314-889-0503. 314-889-0503. That's Mark Hanna. Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Are you in the market to buy a home? Are you in the market to sell your home? Then we say, go to JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, that's Jeff Lotman of Compass Realty. With Compass Concierge, you can take your home buying or selling experience to the next level. Whether you're preparing to sell or want to enhance your new space, Compass Concierge has you covered. No upfront costs, need fresh paint, new carpet, light renovations, home staging. Compass Concierge has you covered. Unlock exclusive benefits and get your home market ready without upfront costs. Increase your home's value hassle-free. Ready to elevate your real estate experience? Contact Compass Concierge today. And Jeff Lotman at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. They're going to transform your home. Call Jeff Lotman. Check him out at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Send your emails in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Kevin Miller enters the second week of September, the leader of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day standings. He has 2 wins. Frisco Peppers has a win. Buck Swope has a win. You can compete with the greats the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And you can win a ticket to Blues and Brews this week for winning the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. It's Friday evening, September 20th at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. It's an outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Matt Stell and St. Louis's own Charles Glenn Group. That is the prize for today's Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. We close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Fisher Window and Door Store 8 o'clock hour coming up next. This is TMA, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Looking for the perfect spot for your next private event? Whether it's a baby shower, bridal shower, birthday party, or business meeting, Rosalita's has you covered. Enjoy the vibrant atmosphere in one of Rosalita's 2 exclusive private rooms with a customized menu that is perfect for your upcoming event. And if you're planning a date night, don't miss the lively mariachi nights every Friday and Saturday. Plus, Rosalita's gift cards make the perfect gift for any occasion. Come celebrate at Rosalita's, where every event is a fiesta. Learn more at rosalitascantina.com.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
If you're seriously hurt in an accident, you'll want all the money you deserve. That's called justice. But there wouldn't be lawyers if justice was easy. No, justice is not easy. It's fought for and it's won. At Brown and Crouppen, we fight for justice every day. If you want some, call 222-2222. Because at Brown and Crouppen, justice is our business.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with Seth Goldcamp of Design Air Heating and Cooling, and I have been a long-time Design Air client. What separates you guys from everybody else?
It's becoming more common for companies to just get their foot in the door. They try to come up with different ways to upsell. They try to see how much they can make off of a customer as opposed to, hey, we're in there to do a service. We're going to do it well. We're going to do it for a fair price.
I don't know how many emails I have received from our listeners who experience the incredible customer service Design Air Heating and Cooling provides. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson, first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
Ready to step your game up to the next level? 5P Academy is the place for any high-level 8 to 18-year-old football player. Based in O'Fallon, Missouri, we have national travel, 7-on-7, and flag football teams with professional coaches. Pre-registration for our 2025 season tryouts in November is open now. Come be a part of the championship-winning 5P family. For more details, email info@5pacademy.com or call Dustin at 314-440-8457.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I regret not managing my finances better in my 20s and my 30s, and now I see how crucial it is for achieving major life goals. Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies helps everyday people every day with their finances, discussing cash flow, liquidity, investments, insurance, and tax-efficient strategies. No matter your financial planning stage, Mark will boost your confidence and keep you on track. Learn more at evergreenstl.com.
Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, a broker-dealer and a SEC-registered investment advisor. Equitable Financial Advisors and MI. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and does not provide tax advice.
This is Eric Conley, the founder of Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, our substance abuse treatment goes beyond mere recovery. It's about reclaiming lives filled with purpose, joy, and connection. Our dedicated facility is more than just a place of healing. It's a beacon of hope for individuals seeking to reintegrate into society and thrive in their work, family, and community roles. Our team is ready to help. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Stupiracy, the podcast where stupidity meets history and conspiracy. With hosts Scott Rizzuto and Tim McKernan.
This whole thing is stupid.
Check out the latest episode, available now. As Riz and Tim delve into the historical financial bubble known as Tulip Mania. Bless you. Explore how a simple flower bulb caused a massive economic crash in the 17th century Netherlands on the latest Stupiracy Now on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Presented by Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Visit evergreenstl.com or call Mark at 314-889-0503. And by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222 or getbc.com.
You gotta be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPNT-FM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Doug Marcus Freeman.
Morgan Freeman?
Freddie?
Get Biddy living, get Biddy dying.
Yeah.
Brooks was here. So was Red.
Ray.
Think about that. Shawshank Redemption 90.
I don't know the years.
I'm going to say, God, I'm put to the test here. I don't think 94, so I'm going to say 92 to get me 91 and 93.
94. Same year as Pulp and Forrest Gump.
All right, I'm going to go to Balloon Party. You guys take it.
It's your first loss ever.
I think it is. It's my first loss ever.
Gosh.
Doug, the Giants uniforms.
Sad.
What do you think of Missouri's uniforms?
Wasn't thrilled with it.
I liked them.
How about that?
That's their best look, I think.
It isn't. A white helmet, that's not Missouri.
I love that look.
It isn't Missouri.
Clean, crisp.
Crisp and clean with no caffeine.
You had to stop for a moment and say, wait, which team is which? Okay.
Oh, come on.
I did. When I first turned it on.
The team in
Wait,
blue was
Mizzou?
not Missouri.
Well, I was watching on my phone.
That's fair. What were you doing there? You couldn't watch on the television.
I was at Kirkwood Park.
What were you doing, flying a kite?
No, it was a little party there.
It was a great day to fly a kite. That was kite flying
flying,
weather.
yeah.
That's a tongue twisters what that is.
Yeah.
Play washers.
And it didn't play washers. But just give me the black helmet with the block M, and I won't complain about any other combination.
That uniform would look great with the block M black helmet.
Yes.
I could still the white pants I think look really good, personally.
I don't know.
I think
16 and a half points, the number.
Yeah,
for
open to
Boston
15.
College.
Open to 15.
Well, should we try to get hotel rooms at $900 a pop at Drury and East?
So here, let me tell you something. A little inside word here. I got tipped off Saturday night about 9 o'clock. Believe it or not, that game day was coming to the University of Missouri.
Is that right?
For the Tigers in Boston College.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife and I, we've been going back and forth on whether or not to go to the game, whether or not we take one of our kids, whether or not we also bring the 2-year-old. Brought that up briefly on 101, and immediately people said, do not take the 2-year-old, and they were very adamant about it. Doug, you've raised 3 strapping boys.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? I've got a 7-year-old, just turned 7 2 weeks ago, and I got a 2-year-old, 2.5. What would you do?
They're saying don't take him to Columbia?
Yes. Now, this is unlike the Murray, who they play? Is it Murray State?
Murray State first
Thank
game.
you. Buffalo. Yeah. Now, maybe they blow out Boston College. I don't know. But I told my wife, I said, listen, either we're at Fro Field or I'm watching that thing at 11:45 on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Either way, that's where I'll be, woman.
Yeah.
Because I was raised the right way.
It's surprising that you even have to tell her that.
Thank you.
That she would just know her place.
I agree. But I said, so this is a little different than if we were going down there and, okay, it's 38-0 or whatever. This could blow things up if Bill O'Brien goes in there and shocks the world.
Yeah.
So I don't need any nonsense.
No.
So in that situation, what do you do? Take.
How many tickets you got?
I don't have any.
Oh.
But we'll take care of that.
I guess
I'll call up Mike Alden.
I guess I would take your oldest son and let your wife finish up the ironing.
You handle my dress pant and all these wonderful outfits that I wear on the show.
It's like a texter calling in when Helen
You would
calls
call
in.
Helen, yeah. You make my sandwich, I'll be in Columbia with the older boy.
Yeah. I want to preface this with I love Tim's wife, but
work, bitch.
Oh my God!
That was the right drop.
Unbelievable!
That was the
Once
right
again,
drop.
Jackson's anti-Italian American slurs.
That was the right drop.
Usually on Balloon Party, he's anti-Italian and anti-Irish. It's like we're in the Bronx in the early 20th century with this guy.
How do you like me now?
Yeah, unbelievable.
There's probably some grout in the bathroom tile that could use cleaning.
I agree.
She's got all day Saturday to do it.
I agree. Yeah, I'm going to go early.
Yeah.
Well, if I know Anna Marie, she would say, no, Tim, you go to the game. I want to stay home and babysit. I'll take care of the house. I got
That's
housework
exactly
to do.
right.
You go ahead and go.
It's like you have a camera in my home. But I get a tip-off that game day's coming to Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I guess it makes sense because we talked about it last week, the college football schedule. What a kind of a miss by the networks and the conferences to not have a better game this week. The best game, I guess, is actually Missouri and Boston College.
Now it is, yeah. That's the only two ranked teams.
I suppose Wisconsin and Alabama would be.
That's what
is Wisconsin undefeated? I mean, I know all these
yes.
teams are going to be. Most of the teams, assuming you don't play Northern Illinois, are going to be undefeated.
We've seen this.
Wisconsin-
Before. Alabama will kill Wisconsin. Don't we know that? Don't we?
They beat Western Michigan and then they beat South Dakota.
Is it a day game? Is it like 11 o'clock
11
kick with those goofballs on Fox?
Mm-hmm.
So they're
Yep.
playing slap and tickle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you got? You also have Oregon, Oregon State, Washington State, Colorado State. I mean, it's pretty limited. I think the only matchup of 2 ranked teams. So I'm like, all right, F it. I'll just go get a hotel. You can cancel up till Thursday. Ridiculous prices, but whatever. We'll make a weekend of it. And then I go check the College Game Day Twitter account, and they are going to Columbia, Doug. Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, that's a different one.
Who are they playing?
LSU.
LSU. And I for the life of me, I have no idea what the hell that's about. The theory is that the game is ESPN ABC, but ESPN owns, or Disney owns, SEC Network, where Missouri Boston College is.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe the TV people couldn't get a hotel room in Columbia, Missouri, and didn't want to spend $900 a night.
because the Worst Woods Wacko wants that jackhammering room?
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
See, the report not the report I saw, but I was listening to that SEC podcast with SEC Mike.
No, what did he say?
And they were saying that College Game Day was planning on going to Lexington.
That part matches up with what I was texted on Saturday night while the game was going on. And at that point, I stopped watching Missouri Buffalo.
And South Carolina beat that ass, and then they changed it to Columbia, South Carolina.
But hey, God bless. But it's not like LSU is some monster at this moment. And my reasoning always on the Boston College thing wasn't about Missouri. It's a rare moment when you have a school from the Northeast, huge market, that's potentially in the spotlight. Now they are in the top 25. But still, even with them being in the top 25, I watched all of Bill O'Brien's post-game press conference like everybody in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. And just to see if he said anything about playing Missouri. And his big thing was trying to get more fans into the stand. He goes, hey, the students are great, but we want to get to a point where people are coming to our games who aren't necessarily alumni or students. Because if you're Boston College and you're in a sports market with teams the caliber of, the Patriots got to win in the first post-Belichick era. Looks like the Red Sox aren't going anywhere this year, but you still got the Red Sox, got the Bruins starting up, you got the defending world champions, the Celtics. You're probably way down the pecking order as Boston College football. They haven't been ranked since 2018. So I thought maybe that would be a market to get a rare chance, because people might go, well, they'll come to Columbia on November 9th when they play Oklahoma. And I would short that market. I'm not, so far Oklahoma, they fumble left around with Houston on that day. Georgia goes to Ole Miss. And I think there's another game in the Big Ten that's attractive that day too, but I can't recall what it is. Point being, I'm just not sure Oklahoma's going to be lurking as a top 10 team at that point. I don't know what Missouri will be at that point. They will have had to go through College Station and A&M. So I don't know what happened with the South Carolina LSU thing to usurp Missouri Boston College. Either way, both of them are crap games relative to what they usually. I mean, they were just at Texas, Michigan. You're dropping off to LSU and South Carolina.
Yeah, you get Georgia at Ole Miss on November 9th. You also get Alabama at LSU.
Okay, Doug, that's a problem. Anything in the Big Ten of note? I have to think.
Maryland's at Oregon. Washington's at Penn State. Not much. There's not like the Big Ten. They're not playing like their ranked games against each other.
I think Florida State, Notre Dame's that week, and that's
Florida
the one.
That's
that and it. Before the season, that might have been it, but
that game's dead now. And Miami at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech just lost. Yeah, the SEC has 2 good matchups, 3 good matchups with Oklahoma and Missouri, but Georgia and Ole Miss might be a battle of 2 top 4 teams at Oxford. So I would bet they would want to go there. No offense.
Well, I would think Missouri students would have turned out in big numbers.
I think they're going to turn out in big numbers no matter what. But yes, I would think.
Had you had that there?
Yeah.
I don't know how you can find out, because I think they play that close to the vest because it's a big deal for the schools. And this isn't like my buddy who was reading something on Tiger Board. This was circulating
Drinkwitz told you this.
He texted me from the sideline.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll say it. I don't like to give up my sources,
Okay,
but
sorry.
in this case, I'll say it.
Yeah.
Eli Drinkwitz is not taking Boston College lightly. He was on the Rich Eisen show talking about Boston College.
I don't think this was recently. I think this was
Oh.
a little while ago, but he did talk about
I'm like, number one, why was Eli Drinkwitz on the Rich Eisen show? And number two, why in the hell are they previewing Missouri-Boston College on the Rich Eisen? Is Rich Eisen just like on a kamikaze mission?
So this guy who's interviewing him isn't Rich Eisen, but it's on the Rich Eisen
What do we
show.
got
He's
here?
a substitute host.
But the guy went to Boston College, so he asked Drink about it.
Oh, so he's just having like fun on his fill-in day?
Kind of, yeah. I kind of respected it. Here's the audio.
As a Boston College graduate, I appreciate I haven't heard many many positive things said about the program in like 15 years here. But Bill O'Brien coming in, it'll be interesting to see exactly how that entire thing plays out.
Jeff Hafley whipped my butt 3 years ago up there, overtime field goal, beat us. They rushed the field. I'll never forget that. It's one of the lowest points in my career. So if they don't think they've got my full attention, they're absolutely crazy.
Okay.
And that was from when?
That is a good question.
We're just playing interviews from whenever.
Well, I know it happened. It happened recently. Bill O'Brien just started at Boston College.
Oh,
I've never seen you angrier in 20 years.
But that was a relevant clip to this week.
This cuts right to my
Well, he's not the
journalistic
coach
chops.
anymore.
Bill O'Brien is, but yeah.
Right. But he mentioned Jeff.
I know, that's what he's saying. He's like, last time we went to Boston College, we got embarrassed. It was one of the lowest moments of my career. I haven't forgot about it. I thought that was prescient.
Okay, don't say per se that
Have they played
again.
him? Have they played him since then?
No.
Well, he has to be talking about this week.
No, I know. That was, yes, sir.
Real talk. The boys at the course are buzzing about Boston College football. That's some sweet Kai. He's our Northeast correspondent.
Okay.
He's right there. I bet there's a lot of BC alums playing at sweet Kai's course.
I bet. Yeah.
So they're
Babson.
happy about their club.
Sure.
And you like Missouri's chances nonetheless.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. They've performed outstanding offensively, and Luther Burton's played like a quarter and a half. The offensive line has looked pretty solid. Defenses look stifling.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're played too butt acid, but you hang 0 points back-to-back weeks, you're doing something right.
Undefeated, unscored upon.
Yeah. 3 straight games without giving out a touchdown.
That clip was worse than the British ice cream video Ken kept repeatedly playing into his mic. Donnie Most would have done better than this. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven. He's a Donnie Most supporter.
We don't still have that ice cream clip, do we? I'd love to hear that again.
Now they're faking videos. Now they got the girls going other places and doing stuff.
No, you don't approve of that.
No, the first one was cute. Now they're just trying to huck to a girl it.
The butt-ass Fox show is covering the Wisconsin-Bama game. That's from Eric in the Centralist, which would stand to reason because they are on site for the game that's on 11 o'clock on Fox.
Yep.
But LSU, South Carolina gets game day. No.
LSU was messing around with a school
Nichols.
called Nichols. What
They
the
were,
hell is that?
Yeah, I don't know.
In South Carolina, sure, they whooped Kentucky's ass in Lexington, which was rough for old Mark Stoops, but they barely beat Old Dominion the week before that.
Old Dominion Freight Lines.
These are just the brand names for South Carolina and certainly for LSU are much better than Mizzou and Boston College.
Well, if A&M was a little better, they may come here for the A&M game, but
A&M's on the road.
that's what I said. They may come to Columbia for the A&M game. If
The A&M game's in College Station.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, for heaven's sakes!
I just looked at the schedule. I was just looking for a game they may come to. I thought
Unless
it
they
said it
late
was
changed it to Columbia.
They could switch.
That could be huge.
Yeah, Mizzou at the bottom.
I promise you, it's in College Station.
What game do you think they do with Mizzou? Alabama, depending on their.
Alabama's in Tuscaloosa.
I'm saying, what Missouri game would they do? It's not
Oklahoma.
going to be in Mizzou.
The only one.
not Mizzou?
Oh.
Yeah, what Mizzou game will they do?
I guess if both Alabama and Missouri are undefeated, they would go there at the end of October on the 26th.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Settle that.
Oklahoma, they're not. They wouldn't come here for Oklahoma.
Well, they would if Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's got some tough teams before they get to Columbia, and Oklahoma was fighting for their lives against Houston on Saturday night.
Yeah, they got the Red River rivalry. Oh,
What in the world was that?
God bless America.
Doug, it's getting away from us.
God, that hurt.
What are you doing? Your beeper go off?
No, I was looking at ESPN and they gave me a pop-up ad. Oh, where's the world gone? If ESPN's giving us pop-up ads like it's The Guardian, we're screwed.
Sanity.
But Alabama Oklahoma's got to take on Texas, and they got to take on, I think, Ole Miss before that. It's going to be tough for them.
I suppose ultimately it's one guy who decides this, right? One guy who's probably the vice president and executive producer of
I'm sure
College Game
I bet
Day.
it's a group of people, but it's
I
essentially
bet
one
ultimately
guy.
one guy makes the call.
Yeah, but someone's probably been doing it for 15 years and kind of
Yeah.
has an idea of what's the right move and what isn't.
Hey guys, Texas A&M is actually playing Mizzou in Columbia, South Carolina. It's in the Kansas City Gray Sexual. Oh, rare. We're going to flip around venues day. I like that.
Well, it'll be easier to get a hotel room in Columbia, Missouri on games when they're on the road.
Excuse me for misreading it.
That's okay.
I was on my phone.
I've
I pulled
misread
up the
many
schedule
things.
looking, and I thought it
Yeah.
said at Mizzou with Texas A&M.
Yeah. How many times have they been here before? A couple times, right?
Who's that, A&M?
No, I mean game day at Columbia.
2010,
Yeah.
Missouri,
Was that the last
Oklahoma.
time? Yeah. Because they got a great backdrop there with the columns and
Oh,
everything.
it's
a lot
super
of
cool.
room
The
for
quad.
people. Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah,
well,
they'll come here.
We may not get it this year. We may not.
Speaking of executive decision making, is the brains behind 590, the broken down Hummer rodent collection program. We've promoted that doughy gangster Pete as president. The treasurer is the dork from the gambling show who felt compelled to blur his face because I didn't know what we were talking about. He's talking about G-Unit.
Pick six, yeah.
Because exactly nobody was interested in him or his inflated ego. You know, the show, it's the one he quit after not wanting to honor his bets after a loss. And TMA kiss-ass #1 is the VP of PR and Media Relations. Got a pesky armadillo in your crawl space? Give us a call. And hey, New Yorkers, if you find yourselves in Lower Manhattan between the hours of 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. on August 3rd, 1997, come see us at our brick and mortar. We'll be giving away mouse traps and $4 off coupons to Sherry's Berries with purchase of 70 or more overpriced chocolate-covered raspberries. Best. That's Peppers, Frisco Peppers, Spanish Lake Small Mid-Sized Business Manager of the Year nominee, class of 1986.
Ooh, nominee.
Should have saved that for an email.
He didn't win it, but he was nominated.
Nominee in 86, though.
It's the 8 o'clock hour, which is brought to you by Fisher Window and Door Store. Fisher Window and Door Store, sponsor of our 8 o'clock hour here on TMA. Grateful for their support of the 8 o'clock hour. It's Fisher Window and Door Store, providing you with quality American-made Marvin windows and doors. Visit their showroom in Brentwood or East Alton, Illinois, or online at fisherwindow.com. That's FISCHER window.com. 100 West Dental and Dr. Brandon Pryor. He was in studio on Friday, Doug, and the listeners were hitting on him, and very aggressively, I would say.
I noticed that.
Very aggressively, but he enjoyed his time in here and the two-part questions. It's 100 West Dental, online at 100westdental.com. I was out there for the first time last week. My word, I understand what they're talking about when they talk about the most modern technology with the patient experience at the front of mind. It's right there on Manchester in Baldwin, directly across from Munganess St. Louis Acura. Dr. Brandon Pryor and his staff want people to know, for whatever reason, dental hygiene and dental health are somehow separated when other people talk about health around everything else but your mouth. People don't realize that dental health impacts the entire body. You start messing around there and not taking care of your teeth, you can run into problems that can affect the rest of your health. Go online at 100westdental.com. No phone calls needed to get in. Just check the calendar online for availability and book right then and there. And then you can work with Dr. Brandon Pryor and his staff at 100 West Dental. No insurance, no problem. The membership plan aids in the cost of dental work for those who do not have dental insurance. Go to 100westdental.com. If you're interested in Invisalign, give them my name. You get $1,000 off Invisalign. If you're on the fence about Invisalign, they have a digital scanner that can show you a simulation of what it'll look like before you even go through with it. It's 100 West Dental, online at 100westdental.com. Jackson, let's say I want to take Missouri and lay 16.5. Where can I go do that?
You can do that on the Circa Sports app, the #1 sports book in the world, right in the palm of your hand, just over in the state of Illinois. So you make the quick drive over to Illinois, sign up, download the app, and then you're wagering like the Dickens. First week of the NFL is in the books. We got one more game tonight, Monday Night Football. Jets in Santa Clara taking on the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers' homecoming game, -3.5. The Niners are favored 3.5. The over-under pretty low, 43.5 is the over-under for tonight's game. Maybe you want to bet some futures. Mizzou is still plus 4,000 to win it all. Can they bring glory back to Columbia, Missouri? If you think they can, it's plus 4,000. And then maybe you want to put a little Heisman bet in. Maybe you've seen enough after these two games. Quinn Ewers, quarterback of Texas, looked really solid over the weekend. He's plus 650. Cam Ward, the quarterback of the Miami Hurricanes, looks really good. And there's a lot of value there, plus 700. And maybe if you want to go local, Brady Cook is plus 5,000 to win the Heisman. Luther Burden plus 20,000. You can bet all these plays and many more with the Circus Sports app available right now in Illinois. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
There it is, Circa. If you would like to place a wager, maybe Chairman Stephen Wildwood wants to. Doug, he is with us now on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. Gabe DeArmond at 9 o'clock, Chairman Steve at 8:27. Good morning, Chairman.
Hello, Steve. Yes, hello. Hello.
M-I-Z.
C-O-U.
Fight, Tiger.
Thank you.
Beat, Golden Eagle.
That was, 0 points. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think.
That's nice.
Beaker down, too, and the Rams lost. I'm happy with all that.
Oh.
And I'm happy the Bears won, even though they have no offense.
Yeah.
Glad that football is back, fellas.
Are you?
Aren't you?
Well, sure. Did you go to any games?
No. I was, actually Friday night I went to Hamilton. Saturday night I went to my wife's hometown, Flora, Illinois, and we went to a gospel concert with her 91-year-old mother.
Oh, really?
So
that was a
nice.
wild time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
well, you do these things. You have,
was dead.
yeah, you have to do these things.
Yeah. Yeah, and then yesterday I went to my grandson's soccer game out in Eureka, so it was nice.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Tonight going to a Pujols Foundation fundraiser. Tomorrow night going to a Gabe Gore fundraiser. Thursday's my birthday, as everybody knows.
No, did not know that.
That's correct.
I'll be at Peroni's. Everybody wants to come up and dance with me.
Huh.
Doug?
What will you be wearing?
Probably, if it's warm enough, shorts and then maybe, a Cardinal shirt because there's a day game that day.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm still with them. Come on.
Okay, yes.
19 in a row, Doug. Is that what we need?
Yes, what we need. 19 straight, and we're right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably what it's going to take.
I think we get it there.
Yeah.
I'm anxiously awaiting Iggy's response for our match, the 11th October, right? You want to do it, Iggy?
Yeah, I said I have to wait. I mean, it's a month away. I don't know what the weather's going to be like.
Well,
I don't know
else are you
what's going
doing?
on. Well, it may be 40 degrees. I'm not playing golf in 40
It won't be
degree
40 degrees, October 11th.
You don't know that?
Yes, I do.
This morning was 51.
I'd like to. I was texting with Wellington. He's going to be in town the 18th through the 1st. I would like him to ride with me for that thing. I told him I'd give him the $200 if I wanted. So I don't know if that's an incentive, considering
it might be.
He probably made what about $5,000 this weekend, something like that.
I don't know what he made. But you got it in for Iggy.
I doubt he made $5,000. I don't think his player made 50,000.
Doug, what did Mark Hensby
I don't have it in front of me.
I think he finished.
Why don't you guys
200.
Crowdsourcing?
Well, he shot even 200, I think, something like that.
Yeah, he was -2.
T31.
Right?
Doug, T31.
Okay. Yeah, that might get him
$10,000 maybe, or something like that.
20,000, so he probably made $2,000.
Wai Yang won $315,000, Doug, for winning in a playoff against Bernhard Langer.
Mm-hmm.
They had to find a translator.
Well, that happens sometimes if you're from another country.
You guys, can you get the Mad Dog show, Jackson? Because that he had Mad Dog. Mike Francesa came on Mad Dog a half hour the other day for the 35th anniversary.
Right.
It basically just went on and on about how they basically invented radio and sports radio and how they were and actually they had a lot to do with the way people did things, but it was just funny listening to him talk about himself for a half hour.
Yeah, it was such a long clip, and I didn't really want to parse through to find little bits and pieces of stuff we've heard before.
I hope the Jets crap the bed too, so he goes really nuts on that.
It's best.
What's his outlet like with that Giants thing? Is that just him?
Yeah,
yelling
that's his.
Going live?
He has his own podcast network, air quotes. I think it's just his podcast, but I think he does it from his home.
Man, interesting. Is my phone better today?
Yeah, it's better. It's okay. sounds pretty good today.
I just was checking. I don't want to. I hate when that buzzing sound happens.
Don't have
you know?
it today.
It does sound horrible sometimes.
Yeah.
I haven't been yelling into I haven't done a mic drop lately. I did get word from one of my spies that Bowtie was having dinner at Chris's last night. I'm glad he's really worried about this team.
Oh, well, he's still going to eat dinner.
Living it up.
You gotta expect
Live it up, Bowtie!
Oh.
Live it up!
Oh.
Gosh. You would expect him to stop eating dinner when the team struggles?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Mo, you want to go
In his
outside?
office trying to figure out how to do it. The next season starts today, basically.
Oh, kind of.
This season is lost.
Yeah, I know.
Back it up a bit.
And I'm
Don't really care.
Was that like you want to have dinner night?
Like
No, we lost. I'm not eating tonight. I'll stay home and eat bologna.
That's a pretty good invitation, right?
He's a man of 100 voices.
He always sounds like he's tired. Although it was funny, like when Francesa was getting into that mode, talking about the uniforms, then talking about the Giants, he sounds like Iggy imitating one of the listeners, you know. He gets into that mode. He is the best, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you guys play a drop, it is not wrong.
Okay.
All right, or am I right?
I think you're right. I think the
Something
key.
to Bill for a second, then I'll be with you. Hold on.
Okay. Is there any chance you could move up
Sorry,
this?
let me get that out of the way.
Could you move up the head-to-head golf match with Iggy sooner than October 11th?
I could. I got a lot going on, Doug. I'm going.
Sounds like you got a lot of galas to go to. You're like the Ladue news calendar.
Yeah, maybe I'll get in there. I was at I'm playing Top of the Rock Friday, and then Buffalo Ridge Saturday. Then I come back. Then we got people coming in town. Then I'm playing in the Filoni's golf tournament Monday the 16th. That'll be fun. Sugar Creek.
Yeah.
And then going to the Grove the 22nd through the 24th.
Hotty toddy.
Then we got Sting and Billy Joel the 27th. Then we're going to Evolution Festival the 28th and 29th.
Where do you think there's going to be more lesbianism, Chairman? Because that's my birthday weekend, and as you know, I'm always pushing for the less popular MFF. We might go to both of those.
I would say Evolution Festival, but last year's Evolution Festival, you had Brandy Carlisle, so that's
Oh, yeah.
Les Fest. I mean, like, there's a lot of
Is that what they call it this year?
Yeah, what was it, Lilith Fair? My friend was you going to Lilith Fair?
It was Sarah McLachlan, Indigo Girls. Do you ever go to Lilith?
No, I've never been to Lilith Fest.
Which day are you going to Evolution Fest?
I'm probably not going. Don't have it on my calendar.
Not you. I know you're not going, Doug.
Okay.
If we stay in St. Louis, I don't know, the whole weekend. My wife's parents would take the boys, and I'd just be on the pursuit. I'd be on the 3Fun app, just looking for lesbianism the whole weekend.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's kind of naughty.
27th, 28th, and 29th?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah. You've got lesbianism going on at the apartment.
No. I was saying the concert's down there on Friday.
Ah, all right. That's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna pass out on your
Probably
couch.
go to
I hope I don't wake up in the middle of the night when you start masturbating.
Oh.
I'll just finish on you.
Doug,
Come on!
what's the FCC's policy on that?
Oh.
By the way, I have to say, I got to compliment Doug. I would watch any ball game at all with your son. He is lively. I love him. He's a snootful.
He is a snootful.
There's John Vaughn, there's Nick Vaughn, there's Greg Vaughn. Which son? Doug?
Nick.
Is it? Oh, Nick.
Right?
Yeah. He is a snootful. Yeah.
Is he a snootful?
Loudest clap in
He's
America.
hilarious.
It's like he's slamming two bricks together with his hands.
Yeah, it is. I have never heard anybody clap that loud.
Oh,
My
yeah.
ears were ringing.
Yeah, people 2 sections over will look and see what the noise is. Like someone
that
setting
laugh
off
off.
firecrackers.
Amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I know.
But it was funny, like, there was a call under review, and Nick was obviously rooting for the Cardinals, so he thought the call was safe, and there were Brewers fans behind us. He thought they were out. And so every time Nick would say safe, they would say out. Nick just was ramping it up Safe. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's incredible.
Oh.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
He likes to go to the games, that's for sure.
He likes to talk trash, too.
Yeah, he'll do that.
He's a trash
He'll do that,
talker.
too. Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Covers a wide range.
I had a good time that
wide
day.
range of
It
emotions.
was a beautiful day.
It was a
You
nice
coming
day.
to the Busman on Thursday?
Busman special. I don't know.
Yeah, you get to find out if the Reds want quarter.
Yeah, they're asking none.
And we'll go to Chris's for dinner with Bowtie?
Oh, you think he goes there every night? Well, he might. He could.
Probably.
He could afford it.
Probably. You know, gets your prime rib every night.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff there.
Yeah, it is.
You had that there, Doug?
I have not had the prime rib at Chris's, no.
Why not?
Well, I'm not a huge beef eater. I like steak and everything,
Take
but
me to,
I try to
take
limit
me
it.
there for my birthday on Thursday.
No, it's
You wanna
Thursday.
go?
Yeah. And I got to pay.
I'll be all liquored up from Filoni's.
Oh, gosh. You're not going to
Go
want to leave.
there.
You're not going to
Actually,
leave
probably
Filoni's.
House guy. That's South County.
Yeah, that's
flavor.
my speed. You know, I live close to
I
that.
hear you. That's a good place. Good place. But I don't want to keep you guys. I just
No.
wanted to kind of check in, see how everything was going.
Well, we appreciate you checking in.
Iggy, I'll try to tighten up my calendar, see if I can work something out before October 11th.
All right, buddy. Let me know.
Doug, are you coming to the Busman on Thursday?
Doug, I thought we covered this.
I kind of doubt it because I got some workmen at my house and the dryer.
You like them?
The dryer blew out last night, so I got all kinds of crap I got to deal with.
You're a do-it-yourselfer, Doug.
Well, we're expanding the patio in the backyard, putting some pavers down. I can't do that.
Yeah, wow. Welcome to Team Unrelatable.
Covering it?
Yeah.
Are you covering it?
A section of it, not the whole thing. A small part of
Basketball
it.
court?
Kitchen?
Not putting in a kitchen,
New
no.
patio.
Pickleball court.
New dryer. Painting.
Short game
bathroom.
area.
What the hell's going on?
So you can hit a 100-yard wedge?
Well, it's what happens when you own a house. Something happens all the time. You're just constantly working on it.
I bought a hummingbird ring.
I'm not looking forward to moving from this apartment to a house.
Well, you don't have to, do you?
Well, I mean, we kind of thought we were going to live there just a couple of years, and now it'll be 5 by the end of it. And my wife's kind of ready to get out. And then we spent the weekend in. Our son lives in our house over in St. Louis Hills, and we spent the weekend there like a couple weeks ago. And it's so nice over there.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's a scene. That whole Francis Park's a scene.
What kind of scene you talking about, bro?
Oh, well, you got Rockwell Brewery, and I mean, there's just very active park. So, and then they had the bike races that weekend. We were there too. So, I'm a little disturbed though. You know, Mizzou played on that Thursday, and we walked around that park like every day we were there. And I probably saw as many Alabama shirts as Mizzou shirts.
Oh,
but
no.
All these jackwagons send their kids to Alabama, and because Alabama's good, they become Alabama fans.
Yeah.
I see that as a problem, Doug.
A lot of St. Louisans now going to Arkansas, Hottie Toddy, and Roll Tide. Am I leaving anybody out there, Jackson? Your peers?
A little Tennessee and Kentucky love.
They're trying to make the South smarter, so they take, if you get like a 32 ACT, you get like a full ride at something.
Is that right? Is that the deal?
Crazy. Yeah.
Why would you go to some of those?
My son could have had a full ride Ole Miss.
Why do you suppose they go to some of those other schools instead of Mizzou? Is it possible they can't get into Mizzou?
No.
No,
That's not possible.
It's a scholarship.
Not possible. If you're getting into any of those other schools, you're getting into Mizzou.
Steve says it's because they're trying to make the South smarter.
Yeah, they're trying to make the South smarter for sure. Okay. But my son went to Arizona State, and he was Arizona State or Mizzou, and Mizzou actually would have been a lot cheaper. But he was like, I don't want to go to Mizzou and hang out with the same people that I hang out with in high school, because that's kind of what happens if you go to Mizzou, because you got a big.
Jackson's shaking it off, and he doesn't like it. Jackson doesn't like it at all.
That's like the king cliche of people who don't want to go to Mizzou.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang out. You don't have to. There's 28,000 other people there.
Jackson, I see all these kids, and a lot of them hang out together because they joined the same fraternity.
That's fair.
Now, you joined the Jewish fraternity, so you probably expanded a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I went to
Does that
Ladue
make
High
sense?
School, bro.
Clip that off.
What?
I went to Ladue High School,
bro.
It was
I know it's predominantly Jewish, but
Not
I'm just
predominantly,
saying.
but more often. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like the cop out for people who like people I did in high school, which you don't have to.
It may be a concern going in, but when you get there, you realize it's not really the case.
Right.
I went to high school with some guys. I didn't even know they went to Mizzou, and I never saw them.
Right.
I get what you're saying, but I do see a lot of kids who, I mean, they expand their friend group a little bit, but he wanted completely different people is the point I was
fine.
making.
Okay.
We were fine with it because I enjoy going down to Arizona about 6 times a year.
Yeah,
So
it's gorgeous
nice down there, although I wouldn't want to live there because it's a concrete jungle.
Yeah, and it's hot. Gosh, is it hot from about May
hot is it
to
out
October.
Like, what, 100 straight days of 100 degrees?
Yeah. Toasty.
Are you kidding me, Doug? That's hot.
No, I'm not kidding.
You don't say it's dry heat. It's still hot.
Yeah, and a lot of sand
Okay, we've been here a long time. We good?
Yeah, he did
I was
say
going to leave a while ago.
he
What
did
they
say it
on
wasn't
the
going to
text
take
line,
up too much
Tim?
of your
I've gotta
time
know.
like 15 minutes ago.
All right. Well, okay, Steve.
You want me to die?
It was fun chatting. You don't have to die.
Doug, you're cutting me off.
You don't have to throw yourself
All right,
off the roof or anything.
Come on, let's go. I'm up in North County.
What are you doing
I
there?
might die. You never know. Oh, the appraisal's dead.
Oh, you actually have to leave your apartment. You can't just look online and see what the comps are in the neighborhood.
Maybe someday they'll do that. But as for now, you don't trust the system enough to not let somebody go out there and look at the house.
Okay, all right.
'Cause we got into trouble before in about the 07 range, Doug. That's when people used to not go to houses and appraise them. That was a problem.
Yeah.
And you had the wrong people doing the appraisals too.
And people had the no down
now we got
payment
the right
loans.
people in. We got the right people.
What's wrong
in
with
place,
that?
Doug.
You shouldn't do that.
Well, yeah, because people walk away from it as soon as they don't make a payment.
All right, Chairman. Thank you so
Obviously,
much. There he is. It's Chairman Steve.
All right, Steve.
If I don't click off, he'll never leave.
Well, we have caller Adam on the Callier and Thompson phone lines.
No.
We're to make Gus Doug. You texted me. Let's get to Adam.
No.
Hi, Adam.
Hello, Adam.
I'm on now?
Yes.
So, I need to know what everybody's electric bill was for September.
I don't have it for you.
Price gouging.
I don't need to know your account number. I don't need to know your address. Just mine was $339 from August 9th to September 9th. I need to know, is that about where everybody else's was?
You should go to Fisher Window and Door Store, get those new windows, get some more efficient
I put in
windows.
my own windows from Sierra Pacific. I can't afford to have somebody else put windows in, like Doug, who's unrelatable, who's getting a patio put in, and every other gosh darn thing in the world. You understand?
Yeah, it's just papers.
We had VIP tickets to the Ascension Charity Classic. We went to that.
Enjoy yourself.
And we saw our buddy Pat Britt there, and my Dago wife and a couple other Dago friends.
Doug, can you say that?
No.
What's the policy on Italian slurs? Because again, this keeps happening.
I'm dumping that. Can't say that.
But I will tell you, lots of drunk people, lots of drunk, hard-bellied, tucked-in,
like that
poloed men know about the show and kept soliciting me, kept soliciting the other men that I was with. I don't really care for that, so I just need to make it. If I'm in public at the Ascension Charity Classic with my VIP tickets, I don't need to be propositioned when I'm there with my Dago wife. I don't need that.
What kind of
You got to
things?
stop with the Italian.
What kind of things were they saying to you, these gentlemen, with their shirts tucked in?
Oh, what do you do? You need help in that bathroom, boy? Hey, boy, why don't you go into the bathroom with me, boy? Hey, boy, leave that wife of yours. Come here, boy. A lot of that.
No.
So anyway, if you guys could text me what your electric bill was from August 8th to September 8th, 636-248-4227. Send a picture of your full uncut penis and your electric bill.
Gosh. You think
Everybody
you think
Everybody good?
you think the electric prices have gone up a lot? Is that the point of all this?
I bought a lemon Mustang Mach-E from Ford, and I don't know if my electric bill is now higher because I've been plugging this into my house or not, and I need to find out.
Yes.
Well, I expect it would.
You're
Yeah.
plugging in a car.
Well, no one told me that my electric bill was going to go up drastically because I have an electric car.
Well, you had to be told that?
Yeah, I was about to say.
If you buy a car that's a gas engine, your gas prices are going to go up too.
Just because you have a full head of hair now doesn't mean you can't give me $50 every now and again. Ass.
Well, I spend that 50 on hair product now.
A friend of mine went to Turkey to get hair plugs, and I don't think it's going well. I think he got an infection.
Really? Is that right? Damn.
Yep, he went to Rittner, and now he lives in Austin, and he flew with his model girlfriend over to Turkey to get hair plugs. And I don't know. I told him about what Doug did, and he said he can't afford that. But I said it's not really that expensive, and that they're a sponsor of the show, and you should try it out. And he said no. And then he went to Turkey and did it. And then his body might be fighting off his own follicles, and he might need emergency surgery.
Oh God!
Damn. So people go to Turkey because it's less expensive there? Is that the reason? Okay. Because people go there for that procedure there. Right?
I think it was about $1,000 for the whole Jim Dangle, which seems too cheap.
Yeah.
Too cheap for something like that.
It's somebody doing it out of their trunk of their car.
It's usually all included with travel, staying, and the actual procedures. Ends up being less than what it is in America, but they have different standards
knows
on
what you're gonna
surgery,
get?
and they have you're really taking a big risk.
You got to go to St. Louis Hair Restoration.
Bingo, Doug.
Yep. So St. Louis Hair Restoration is a great sponsor. You should go there instead of Turkey. I'm going to need $5 for this live read because I can't afford my electric bill at this point in time.
Yeah.
So is there another live read I could do real quick?
Would you like to tell the people about Design Air Heating and Cooling, official HVAC provider of TMA?
Come on in. They'll call them, and they're going to clean up. And how much is that checkup? I think it's $100, and they'll look at your whole system and tell you what they'll do a checkup, and I'm gonna need $5 for doing that now. So I have $10.
You have about 38 seconds left in the spot.
Yeah.
And
Website.
so Design Air, designair.com.
Designairservice.com.
Check out their services.com, and it's a website that they have, and they've been running this company for 4
Generations.
years.
That's right, Adam. That's right. He knows his stuff.
And nothing, they have never done anything wrong, and they have a 5-star rating with the Better Business Bureau. They pay their taxes.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do.
Seth Faze's Design Air Heating and Cooling. That was a wonderful live read. You're accumulating talent fees.
Right. And that's all. So anyway, Doug, if you would like to bottom on the 18th hole at the Ascension Charity Classic next year, just hit me up.
Okay.
We'll get behind one of the cabanas. Pat Britt will get us in. Pat Britt, I know Pat Britt.
Do you? Okay. He'll get us in.
So he'll get us into Norwood. A lot of people out there aren't from North County. A lot of people, actually, most of the people I talked a lot of crap on North County, and then I would get real aggressive about North County and tell them, well, I live here, you can leave then. Get out of here, and a lot of that. So, again, a lot of hard-bellied, tucked-in polos. I didn't like the pastel colors. I was on the TV for a little bit, and I think that one guy named Yang won, and I'm real proud of him. He won $300,000, and I'm going to need about a little bit of that for my electric bill. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Adam. It's been quite a call.
All right. Have to go.
All right. Sorry to bother you. We'll see yous.
Pot down this jackass. That's from the 636. Get this mother effer off the line. That's from O'Fallon Possum. Adam is totes my fave. That's from Flip Wilson. He's goated. Absolutely goated. That's from Dogtown Ty. Doug, he won the Fan Page Club Championship back-to-back years. Guys, back-to-back callers of the month. That's from the Total Package. Sign of a good show that the listeners now have more live reads than Ken. That's from Glove Blogger Tom Traven. Caller Adam related to Big Al, sensing a similar cadence. That's from Scissor Me Timbers. That was the caller of the year. Great call. You think he's the caller of the year?
No. Speaking of Big Al, we rarely hear from him anymore.
He called in like a month ago.
I know, but he used to be almost daily.
Oh, so did Biff. He doesn't call it anymore.
He does, and we don't pick up the phone.
That call was better than Steve and the Wacko. That's from Mr. Siders.
What was good about it?
Well,
What did he talk about that was so good?
Mr. Siders, the action's back on you. You can call in 636-9004 TMA, or you can email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com and compete in that Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, which we were just talking about with caller Adam, who's been goated. You like that when somebody gets goated?
no, I don't like that phraseology.
They call Tom Brady the GOAT, Doug, and yesterday he made his debut on Fox with Kevin Burkhardt. The Cowboys in Cleveland. Here are the opening words of Tom Brady.
It is America's Game of the Week on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon from Cleveland, and a beauty in this Week 1. The NFL on Fox is back with the Cowboys taking on the Browns, and we say welcome to the broadcast booth. He's Tom Brady, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt, and you're a broadcaster. How about that?
We're here. It's been quite a journey, but I love being your partner.
I'm excited as well. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Good. Well, I listened to some of it.
What do you think?
I didn't think he was particularly good.
Yeah.
I don't know why they think just because you're the best quarterback ever, you're going to be a great analyst or have a lot of personality or insight. I didn't think he was especially good, especially for a number one guy at the whole network.
Tino Martinez, Marcelo Zuna, Wilson Contreras. Reactions, nay, overreactions to not getting the player you wanted or a player you wanted leaving. And I believe that that's what went on with Tom Brady. I think that Fox goes, oh, God, we're losing Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. We need to make sure that nobody else gets Brady because we've just lost Buck and Aikman, and we're just going to sign him and then hope that he turns out to be as good in the booth as he was on the field. And I just don't necessarily think the two skills equate. Sure, I could win numerous Super Bowls if I wanted to play football.
Yeah, sure.
But I prefer HD2 radio in St. Louis.
This is harder, more of a challenge.
Thank you. So, Richard Deich, friend of the program, writes, Sunday, Brady came off as someone attempting to learn the craft in real time. That's not a criticism, it's just reality. He first spoke on the air at 4:23 p.m. Eastern with the usual scene setter stuff and was very deliberate over the first quarter. Everything felt a little slow, with him and Burkhardt still finding a conversation rhythm. Brady got more comfortable as the broadcast continued, and I expect that to be the pattern as the season continues. If you desperately want me to grade him, I'd give him 2 1/4 goats out of 4. Fox will take that for his first regular season game. 2 1/4 goats out of 4.
I think they worry about something that they don't need to be worried about. People are going to watch the game if it's teams that they're interested in. They're not going to watch the game for the color analyst or even the announcer. They expect the announcers to be good enough and competent enough to carry the game and allow it to be entertaining. I don't know why they feel like they need to pay announcers $18 to $20 million a game when it's the game is what people are interested in.
I feel bad for Greg Olson. I mean, I thought Greg Olson was fabulous. And just to get thrown out because we're going to try out Brady. Now, granted, it's his first game. He'll get better. But it's just milquetoast.
Specific to that, Iggy, Deich writes, having watched Greg Olson, Burkhardt's former partner, all of last year, and for some of the Sunday's telecast of the Steelers and Falcons game, you see the difference between someone who's a true number one right now and Brady. Olson takes viewers to second-level stuff often, and that's where Brady will be challenged during these first couple of games. Here's an example. After Dallas wideout Brandon Cook scored in the first quarter on a 21-yard touchdown pass from Dak Prescott, the broadcast, and specifically Brady, let a couple of seconds of airtime go by before offering something short about Prescott reacting to a blitz. That's perfectly fine commentary, but nothing transformative that will educate a viewer on being a smarter football fan, and that should be Brady's goal. Interestingly, Fox came back to the play after a break, and that's when Brady provided some second-level stuff.
All right.
Yeah, his first game, and it was a blowout, too. I don't know if that hurts or helps, but it was certainly not a close game, Dallas and Cleveland.
I don't really even need the second-level stuff. I don't need to know everything about the X's and O's. It's great if you can explain it briefly and concisely. I just kind of want to be entertained.
Yeah, to me, the product on the field. I'm not saying that anyone else is saying, like, no, the broadcast is more important, but the product on the field, you're right. If it's that and that pretty much alone. Full stop?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they could save themselves a lot of money by not not paying the best player who just retired as much money as they can possibly funnel to him.
Yeah, it's keeping up with the Joneses. They got
I
Tony
guess.
Romo. You got to keep up. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Yeah, keep up.
But if you're not interested in watching the Cowboys play the Browns, doesn't matter that Tom Brady's on there, does it?
Maybe for game 1, but maybe not for game 8.
Yeah, I'll agree with yesterday. I bet a lot of people tuned in just to see Brady, but that won't be the case every week.
Right. I'm with you there.
I tuned in because it was the only game on
Locally.
at that time.
You don't have the red zone?
Nope.
Either do I. I don't know why I asked you that.
No. I'm getting pavers in the patio. I can't afford red zone.
Unrelatable.
Yeah.
Chairman Steve's back.
Is it another call?
No, text.
All right.
He was okay, a little off, but he'll be good. And I'm with Iggy. I'd rather have Olsen. You and Chairman Steve are starting to bond, Iggy.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, right before getting on the golf course
Wait
for the
till this
showdown.
golf start. Wait till this golf outing. We'll probably end up making out.
Nice. That'll be hot. I'll watch that.
Can we agree that John Madden is probably the best ever? Anyone better than him doing this?
I wasn't really watching when he was doing the games.
Really?
Yeah. Born 98.
Yeah, I don't know. I share that on the surface, but I don't know if that's one of those we romanticize the past things, but I did love John Madden.
Just because he was entertaining.
I think Herb Street does a great job. I know that he's not necessarily as entertaining, or close to as entertaining, for that matter, but I think he does a damn good job on college.
I agree.
A lot of
And
things.
he comes off as such a nice guy, too. It's just, but he's very knowledgeable, and he doesn't overdo it. He doesn't trash people. He doesn't try to get funny. He's very good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked Jack Buck and Hank Stram.
Oh, yeah, they were good.
He's going right, Jack. He's going right, Jack.
Yeah, they were great.
I like Gabe DeArmond, and guess what? He's going to be with us on the other side of the break. Brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. James is online at carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. He's my insurance agent, and we recommend he become your insurance agent as well. That's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Grove's 378 five-star reviews for James Carlton. And he presents Gabe DeArmond here coming up in the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour, which will also feature the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Doug, can you tell us about Mark Milton? Because I got him online at STLTaxLawyer.com.
Well, the thing is about Milty, he wants to help you get some money that you may have coming, and it could be a sizable amount.
Money.
But if you don't ask for a refund, you're not going to get it. And time is running out to claim your St. Louis City earnings tax refund. If you lived outside the city but had city earnings tax withheld for tax years 2020 to 2023, you may be eligible for a refund for teleworking days. STL tax lawyer Mark Milton is filing refund claims for people like you and me. You can do it yourself, or you can do what I did and hire Milty to file your earnings tax refund. Know that it's going to be done right. I certainly didn't need the hassle. Milty did it and got me my check toot sweet. Now, for his efforts, Mark Milton does need to wet his beak just a little bit. He's charging a flat fee of 15% of your total anticipated refund amount, just 15%. You just need to visit STLTaxLawyer.com to get started. You have to act now. Deadline fast approaching. It's September 30th. Remember, if you don't ask for a refund, you don't get a refund. File your refund claim today with STL Tax Lawyer Mark Milton by visiting STLTaxLawyer.com. The choice of an attorney is an important decision, should not be based solely on advertisements.
Mentality is online at lowtusa.com, a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. If you're dealing with decreased mental acuity, attention span, and stress, that can cause focus issues on even the most simple tasks, or belly fat, feeling bloated and a lack of lean muscle and tone that used to be easy to get rid of or maintain. That can be low testosterone. Go to lowtusa.com, get tested at Mentality. It doesn't matter what age you are. Low testosterone can be an issue with any guy, even if you've tried testosterone before. Not everyone understands blood chemistry in men's bodies. Mentality can help. Testosterone therapy helps men regain normal function and restores the ability to perform normally at all levels. Go online at lowtusa.com. That's Mentality online at lowtusa.com. Text into the Schaefer Door Company. Text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Call in like Chairman Steve and caller Adam. The Collier and Thompson phone line 636-9004-TMA. And coming up at 9:50, the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. On the other side of our break, as we close out the Fisher Window and Door Store 8 o'clock hour, the Colonel, Gabriel P. DeArmond of Power Mizzou, joins us, brought to you by James Carlton. All coming your way in the 5P and Hustle and Heart Academy Sports Performance Center 9 o'clock hour. It's up on TMA, presented to you by Brian Crouppen.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Elevate your performance. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. It's officially Jeep and Bronco season. Pure Performance carries any accessory for your vehicle, old models to brand new. From sunshades, soft tops, trail doors, to off-road gear like bumpers and light bars, Pure Performance has you covered. Stop by the Pure Performance showroom at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles or visit pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carter.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burden III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
If you want a first-class, top-of-the-line, high-quality interior remodeling job, you know who I'm going to suggest. Collier & Thompson. Known for their kitchen and bathroom remodels, Collier & Thompson is where you go when you want your remodeling job done right the first time. Collier & Thompson doesn't just do large remodeling jobs. They do plenty of man caves, bars, offices, pretty much anything inside your home. Check out their 10,000-square-foot showroom next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House on Manchester. Let them bring your dream remodel to reality. CollierandThompson.com.
There's nothing more important than the look and feel of your home. So now's the time to make your home your retreat. Replace your tired old windows and doors with Marvin replacement products designed to improve comfort and efficiency. Fisher Window and Door Store, a reputable local company, will guide you through the entire replacement process. Their experts will help you make the right choice for your home, and they'll measure, design, and install your new windows and doors.
Hi, I'm Jim Fisher. Since 1941, the Fisher family has provided you with quality American-made building products, including Marvin Windows and Doors. Come visit one of our showrooms in Brentwood or East Alton, and let us help you increase the value of your home.
Bring that distinct sense of quality to every room with Marvin. Visit Fisher Window and Doors' huge, newly remodeled showroom in Brentwood or Fisher Lumber in East Alton, Illinois. Quality and comfort starts at Fisher Window and Door. Online at fisherwindow.com.
This is the one.
Honey, I think you're right. This house has everything we've ever dreamed of. A huge master bedroom, an open kitchen, and a backyard with a fire pit and built-in grill.
I can't believe it. Finally, our dream home. It's absolutely perfect for us.
We owe our realtor big time.
No, you don't. We're just doing our job. At the Jeff Lotman Group, helping you find your dream home is our top priority. Bringing people and properties together. Call us at 314-406-8911 or visit us online at jefflotman.com.
Another blues season is coming. Get ready for the second annual Blues and Brews event, Friday, September 20th at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery. Get fired up for another blues season at this outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Matt Stell.
I've been from Savannah to Long Beach.
And St. Louis's own Charles Glenn Group, plus appearances by blues players and alumni, food trucks, giveaways, and more. Tickets are just $20 and on sale now. Blues and Brews, presented by Bud Light, 92.3 WIL and 101 ESPN. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Stupiracy, the podcast where stupidity meets history and conspiracy. With hosts Scott Rizzuto and Tim McKernan.
This whole thing is stupid.
Check out the latest episode, available now. As Riz and Tim delve into the historical financial bubble known as Tulip Mania. Bless you. Explore how a simple flower bulb caused a massive economic crash in the 17th century Netherlands on the latest Stupiracy Now on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Presented by Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Visit evergreenstl.com or call Mark at 314-889-0503. And by Brown & Crouppen, 222-2222 or getbc.com.
Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all 4 TMA boys across the front. The Banty Brew, a refreshing ale made with white wheat, ground coriander, and fresh whole oranges. Head to any Salt and Smoke location today to try the TMA Banty Brew. Must be 21 or older to consume or purchase. See the can at TMASTL.com and find a participating location to try it for yourself. Brought to you by Charlottesville Brewery and Winery in St. Genevieve, Show Me Beverages, and Salt and Smoke. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Now.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Bill O'Brien might feel good right now, but what will he feel like on Saturday morning at 11:45 when he hears this beat pulsing through Faurot Field?
Wouldn't be surprising to me if they just didn't show.
I agree.
They just did not come at all. They say, you know what, we're going to wait and play next week.
I agree.
We'll give you this one. We'll save the travel costs, the hotel expenses, and we just won't show up.
This has become like Dixieland Delight in Tuscaloosa for Missouri fans.
Oh, yeah. Right there before the fourth quarter.
I Won't Back Down in Gainesville. What are some other famous songs that are sung? House of Pain, Jump Around, Madison?
Mm-hmm. It's probably the most famous.
Dixieland Delight down in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, you're paying tribute to Iggy over there with the Echo.
Rocky Top.
James Carlton sitting in Iggy's chair. Rocky Top, yeah? Do you like Rocky Top?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, it's overplayed.
But this bass. Ladies and gentlemen, James Carlton's in studio here for the 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour, and it is our pleasure to welcome to the program, breaking down the number 6 team in the nation from Power Mizzou, the Colonel, Gabriel P. DeArmond, brought to you by CarltonInsurance.net on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. Morning, Colonel.
Hey, you guys didn't mention the best musical interlude in college football.
What is it?
We won't back down at the Swamp.
What is going on? Dog, is my mic off? Damn it all to hell with this Colonel.
The real answer is Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside?
Yeah.
Only the new censored version, though.
So there is a censored version now?
Yeah, they won't. Yeah.
They flash Beat KU in the place of, the other word, and they have the DJ or a recording of it say it so loud that they attempt to drown out what the crowd is saying. It doesn't really work, but it's like a cross, so I guess you can't loudly hear the F-bomb on TV, which I guess is the goal, but you know what's there.
Mm-hmm.
September 6th next year at Faurot Field, Doug. Rock Chalk Jayhawk comes to town.
Good. They should play him every year.
Well, you're going to get a lot of Kansas here over the next few years. Colonel, let's start here. The defense. Brady Cook, I was reading your 10 thoughts for Monday morning, presented by Will Garrett. Is that correct? And I see that you have the fun fact from Brady Cook, and that is all off season. You see in the media, you see yada, yada, yada. Oh, what's the defense going to be? Is it going to be that same death row defense that we've had? And I mean, they have not shied away. They came out strong the first 2 games. They're doing their thing right now, so I'm excited about it. That's Brady Cook. He said it didn't surprise him because he's been going against them all camp. He knew they were legit. What are your thoughts on what we're seeing from the defense?
Yeah, they're the only team in the country that hasn't allowed a point through 2 games. Purdue hasn't allowed a point, but only played once. They're, I think, still number 1 in the country in pass defense. They're allowing 2.49 yards a play. Like, I don't care who you play. There have been 89 years of Missouri football since the last time they started with back-to-back shutouts. And look, the first 2 games have been against some pretty bad teams at times, and nobody did this. So it's really impressive, and the most impressive part to me is just they're doing it with so many new players and a new coaching or a new defensive coordinator, at least. I mean, the top 5 of the top 6 guys in snaps played through the first 2 games are transfers. And like 8 of the top 10, 9 of the top 10, something like that. And not necessarily first-year transfers. I mean, that includes Drayden Norwood, Tre'Vez Johnson, Sidney Williams, but are guys that didn't start their career here, and none of them started their career with Corey Batoon. So wildly impressive what they've done so far. Now, hey, it gets a little tougher because they've played, I would say, probably the 2 worst offenses they'll play this year.
Does the defensive system they're using look a lot different from last year to you?
No, it's pretty similar. It's a 4-2-5 base. They have some different versions, but so far they haven't blitzed nearly as much as they did last year. They're just going off eye test. I don't know. I'm not one of these people that breaks down play calls and formations and all that a whole lot, but they haven't had to. And again, I think that's the impressive part. Like, it's not like they've had 9 sacks in these games or they're all over the backfield. They're just lining up, and they're giving up almost nothing. They've given up, I think, 3 plays longer than 9 yards, none longer than 18 in 2 full games, which means, every single play, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. There are no breakdowns.
Gabe, Gerard had some great numbers this morning on his piece, just to really highlight how dominant this Mizzou defense has been. Mizzou's defense is 5 of 27 on third downs for 18%, and they haven't committed a penalty all season. So they haven't given up a point, and they haven't committed a penalty. And on the flip side, I know the offense has some penalty issues, but would you agree, at this point in the season, through 2 games against nobodies, you would rather have your defense playing penalty-free and cleaning up some holding situations on the offensive line? Can you just expound on how dominant the defense has been and what they're going to do to try to clean up the penalties on the offensive side?
Yeah, I don't know if it really, if I have a preference of like, hey, I want this. I mean, I think it's a good sign in Missouri's case because we kind of know what to think of the offense, right? I mean, Luther Burden hasn't really done a lot yet. Brady Cook has missed some throws, and they're still averaging 45 points a game. They're going to be fine. The defense was where we had the question mark. So in Missouri's case, yeah, you probably would rather have the defense hit the ground running and maybe have a couple questions, even though I think they're kind of unfair questions about the offense. The penalties, yeah, they're an issue. I enjoyed Drinkwitz's answer. He was asked on Saturday night if there was any common theme among all the holding penalties, and he said the common theme is we were the only team that was getting called for holding. So, he can't help himself now. Again, he's got to get a smart-ass comment in there, which I like. I don't have the benefit of replay in a game like that. I'm not going back on my laptop or looking in the press box really to see many replays because they didn't much matter. I know, holding calls. Look, you can complain about almost every holding call, and the flip side is they could call holding on almost every play if they really wanted to. So if the holding call goes against your team, it's always bad, and if the other team holds on every play. So, coach, I guess it's coaching a little bit, but I tend to think that most holding penalties result from a guy that got beat. And so the key is just win your one-on-one matchup, and then you don't have to hold.
Gabe DeArmond with us, brought to you by the gentleman in studio with us, James Carlton with the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net. I had people who were at the game texting me, Gabe, saying, hey, Luther Burden left the field. What's going on there? Then the broadcast team announced that he wouldn't return in the second half. Per Missouri, it was because of illness. Do you have insight into anything beyond what was reported on the broadcast / Missouri media relations?
Not a ton. My first reaction, I'll be honest, on Saturday night was, is he really sick? Because he played and he left kind of after he took he delivered a blow on the goal line. My first reaction was, are we sure he's not kind of banged up? But I've talked to a couple of people who said, look, this was kind of known among the team all week that he wasn't feeling great. So I tend to take what they say at their word until I have reason to think they're not telling us the truth, and I don't really have any reason to think they're not telling us the truth on Luther. I would imagine he will be fine and will be out there next Saturday morning.
See, they had another sellout. If you can sell out against Murray State and Buffalo, there's a chance they sell out every game this year. Are they expecting that, do you think?
Yeah, I would think so. Boston College already sold out. I think there's a few tickets left for Vanderbilt, but first SEC game, I would think that sells out. Oklahoma sold out, Auburn sold out. So then you're just looking at the Arkansas game, which sold out or not, I doubt it's full simply because it's Saturday after Thanksgiving, and a lot of people don't make that trip. But if they can say they sold 62,000, and who knows, maybe it will be, right? The A&M game was after Thanksgiving in 2014. If it's a good team, people will show up. So, yeah, I would expect that they sell out every home game, and that's 12 in a row. And I don't know if that's the most in school history, but I would think it probably is.
Gabe, we saw in Stillwater how important kicking can be. And Blake Craig, got his first taste of some longer field goals and drilled the first one. He's got the leg, clearly, but what's your concern level moving forward with his accuracy?
Not much. Look, 49 and 51-yard field goals they're a crapshoot. I'd say maybe 50% of the time you're hitting those in college football. He was 1 for 3. So, yeah, you would have loved it if he made all 3. But, and this has actually been one of my big problems with college football in the first 2 weeks. I see coaches all over the place just saying, yeah, we're close enough. 44-yard field goal is fine. But no, not with college kickers.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree with you.
Justin,
but you're talking about Gundy specifically, I guess, right?
What's that?
Gundy and how he just kind of sat on it?
Yeah, Gundy did it, and I've seen some other coaches do it, too, in the first 2 weeks, and I just don't understand it. I mean, if you've got Harrison Butker or Justin Tucker, great. That's probably a 90% success rate, 85% success rate. Take your chances. But if you've got a college kicker, hey, man, you make that thing to straight. If you can score a touchdown, always. If you can't, hey, give me a 25-yard field goal over a 45-yard field goal. If a game comes down to a 50-yard kick, yeah, I don't know if Blake Craig's going to make it, but I don't know if anybody else in the country is going to make it either.
Gabe DeArmond with us, brought to you by James Carlton. Colonel, turning attention to what's coming up this week, Missouri is 16.5-point favorite against Boston College. Probably a good thing for Missouri that Boston College looks like they could be a good team. I realize part of the math on that is whether or not Florida State is a disaster this year or not, because judging anything off the Duquesne win by Boston College would probably be a fool's errand. But with that all established, Boston College has a monster offensive line, as you note. They have a running quarterback. They have a legitimate coach in Bill O'Brien. What kind of potential problems do you see Boston College presenting for Missouri this Saturday?
Look, Boston College can win this game, but they'll need help from Missouri to do it. If Missouri comes out and plays an A game, a B-plus game, Missouri's fine. They've got more talent. I watched 2 or 3 quarters of BC Florida State, and I had heard of Thomas Castellanos and kind of knew what the reputation was. And so when I turned it on, I thought I was going to see this guy just running all over the place, he's solid. He's a dual threat. He can run. But, I didn't watch him and think what I watched watching Vanderbilt was, Diego Pavia could go win a game with his leg against somebody. It wasn't watching Brad Smith. It wasn't watching a guy like that. He's athletic. He can run. I'm not sure he's a better runner than Brady Cook. And I think he's certainly not a better passer than Brady Cook. He's a solid player, and I was a little surprised at the line. I had guessed 12.5.
Yeah.
It was a little higher than I thought, but I think what that tells you is nobody believes yet in Boston College, right? They think that first game was more about Florida State than it was about BC, and I tend to think they're probably right, because whether Florida State turns out to be a disaster or not, it is certainly a disaster right now. And look, the flip side, there are skeptics about Missouri too, and I think it's fair because, yes, they have destroyed 2 teams, but they're 2 very bad teams. I mean, Missouri's games have been over. I would say this one was over 5-6 minutes into the second quarter. The first one was over 5-6 minutes into the first quarter. Missouri has not taken a stressful snap on either side of the ball all season long. So this is a new team. Yeah, last year's team was good in close games, all that. But this is a new team. You don't know how are they going to react if they are, let's say, 2017 in the fourth quarter and Boston College gets the ball, how's this defense going to react? Or 2017 and Missouri has the ball and you've got to go get 3 first downs to end the game. Like, we think Missouri can do that, but they haven't proven it yet.
Yeah. Gabe, we're hearing reports, at least one of our listeners paid up to $900 a night to stay in the Drury Inn West or Drury Inn East, one of those.
Drury Inn East.
Are you renting your house as an Airbnb now for $400 or $500 a night to make some cash out of this?
See, I think my wife would be pretty offended by that because she's home during games.
Doesn't matter.
We've got a 1-year-old puppy that really likes to bark for about 7 hours at anybody new that comes in our house.
Oh, I bet you'd love that.
I don't think it would be great, but no, it is funny. I've heard a lot of complaints about hotel prices this year, and all I can say is welcome to SEC football, Mizzou fans. It hasn't been this way, but when I book travel for my guys on the road, we don't stay in the town. We stay 20 minutes outside and either rent a car or Uber in, because like a Hampton Inn in Gainesville is going to cost you $650 a night on a game weekend, and you have to have both nights. So, that's what this league is. This is part of what you've signed up for. So I highly recommend hotels in, Jeff City, Boonville. I don't know if Kingdom City has a hotel or not, but,
sure they do.
15, 20 minutes
Clarion,
outside if you need a hotel. I know that offends people who mostly want to come to college football games to imbibe and not be able to drive 20 minutes. But if you want to save the money, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Hey, real quickly, before we wrap up our conversation, I like that you include Missouri's opponents and what they have coming, because relevant, I think perhaps more so than we've ever seen before, is what other schools are doing. So, for example, as somebody who just grew up in a Notre Dame household, I'm anti-Notre Dame this year from the Missouri perspective, so what happened on Saturday was great, because that could very well, and I saw you write yesterday, it should very well just take them out. And so you also watch Missouri's future opponents to see how they are performing, because I think it's in Missouri's best interest, kind of weirdly, like it was in 2007. Missouri wanted Kansas to be good, so Missouri could beat them when they were undefeated at Arrowhead Stadium, and it made Missouri look better. So it's a good thing that Boston College beat Florida State. It's a good thing that South Carolina beat Kentucky. In my opinion, it's a good thing. So what are you seeing so far as Missouri's schedule is evolving based on the little bit of information we have from the first few weeks of the season?
It's probably a little better than we thought it was at the beginning of the year. BC looks better. Vandy looks better. Flip side, A&M lost to a Notre Dame team that just lost as a 4-touchdown favorite at home.
Got Auburn losing to Cal down
Auburn
there.
Looks far worse. South Carolina looks better. So I tend to think by the end of the year, they mostly even out, right? I mean, Oklahoma looked awful on Saturday night, but we've said since the beginning of the year, Oklahoma could be a legitimate top 15, top 20 type team, but they won't be ranked there if they're 7-5, right? The most fascinating thing to me about all this is going to be how much the college football rankings, committees, bowls, all that have a history of just looking at the record.
Yeah.
Right? If you're 12-0, you're until what happened to Florida State last year. But undefeated is better than one loss. One loss is always better than 2 losses. Look, the reason I said Notre Dame should be out, if you go through the SEC this year at 9-3 or 10-2, you are a better football team than a Notre Dame team that went 11-1 with a loss to Northern Illinois, and their best wins are USC and Texas A&M. I mean, you're better. If Oklahoma wins 9 games against their schedule, that's a better season than Notre Dame going 11-1. Now, will the playoff committee see it that way? I highly doubt it. I think you could overcome. I think 10-2 Missouri should now be ahead of 11-1 Notre Dame. 9-3. I don't think you're going to be able to make 2 losses up based on schedule. But I was listening to the Yahoo podcast this morning with Dan Wetzel and Pat Forty and Ross Dellinger, and they made a good point. You see this in basketball all the time, right? When you're seeding things, okay, you have good losses, you have bad wins, bad losses, and you get penalized a seed line or 2 for that. So let's say Notre Dame goes 11-1. To me, I don't care. They've proven they lost to a team that isn't in this conversation at all, and they don't belong in. my guess is they would still get in if they managed to do that.
Fighting Irish, Doug. Yeah. Fighting for their lives.
I guess we can tap dance around the real issue, and that was white helmets Saturday.
Oh, no.
Were you pretty upset by that, Gabe? Were you as mad as I was?
Devastated.
You know,
you can hear the life leave Gabe's body when he gets these uniform questions.
Almost left the stadium.
Yeah.
Can we talk anything about game day?
There was a chance. There was some talk. We thought that it might end up here, especially after Kentucky looked like a team that shouldn't even be on television, much less be on game day.
They could use a quarterback in Lexington at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, I know Missouri fans are upset about LSU, South Carolina. But, look, South Carolina's coming off a really good win. They haven't been there in 10 years. LSU is still a name. It's a conference game. One of those teams is going to come out of there feeling pretty decent about itself. One of those teams is probably going to go, okay, well, I mean, if LSU loses that game, they're done. Can't talk about the playoff with them, I don't think. So, you know, I get it. I mean, Missouri-BC it's not a brand name game, and that has more to do with BC than it does with Missouri. I mean, Missouri's a legitimate top 10 team. We're seeing game day at a place that LSU's a brand name. South Carolina's not, but more of a brand name than BC. I understand BC's ranked 24th in the AP and all that, but, you know, and I also think that the ESPN people are probably looking at this and going, well, look, Missouri probably ought to be 7-0 going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're going to have a couple chances to put Missouri on game day. Maybe at home, maybe on the road, whatever. But we're going to have a couple chances to do that. This LSU South Carolina loser, this is it, man. They're not getting another shot at this. So I think that probably has something to do with it.
Yeah, the only counter is I just don't know if they're going to get a chance to go to Columbia. Not to say that they're dying to go to Columbia, but as you noted yesterday, I think you noted, the chance of Oklahoma being a top 10 team by the time November 9th rolls around, or 6th or whatever the hell it is, when they come to Columbia, probably pretty unlikely.
But if, let's say, for sake of argument, Missouri goes down and wins at Alabama. 8-0, they're going to be a top 3 or 4 team, and Oklahoma is a big enough brand name that there would be. Now I know there's other big games. Fans have looked into this, like all the other games,
including me. Oxford hosts Georgia that day, and I think Alabama's got somebody big that day. LSU, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so I don't know. They may get it, they may not.
Sounds like you're pretty invested in this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool.
Doug asked about the uniforms. I ask about game day
and all that. And it is a cool experience for fans. You're always going to remember it. Don't get me wrong. I think it'd be great if they came here. It's more important than what color pants they wear.
I don't know that it is.
Other than that, I'm not sure it's more important than anything.
Would your wife allow the ESPN crew to stay at your house if they can't get a hotel?
Good question.
I don't, you know, maybe like 15 years ago, Kirk Herbstreit could have stayed here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure present day Kirk Herbstreit is would be a welcome guest. I would invite Saban and McAfee to stay.
That'd be good entertainment.
Yeah. They could
got to get that dog out of there for a few hours, though. It sounds like
a couch.
Gabe, always appreciate the breakdown, and we'll look forward to this Saturday in Columbia, Missouri. Gabe DeArmond every Monday here on TMA, brought to you by James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net. Thank you, Colonel.
All right, appreciate you guys.
There he is. That's Gabe DeArmond. And just doesn't sound like he's that invested in game day or the pant color.
Yeah, what the hell? He's missing the big stories.
I love throwing just a little taste on Boston College at plus 4,500 to win the Atlantic Coast Conference that includes California.
It does.
Cal is in the ACC now, are they?
Yeah, it also includes Miami, who is they look very sick.
Who did Miami play this weekend?
Florida A&M, some scrubs. But they whooped that ass, but they cleaned Florida Gators clock in Gainesville. Mm-hmm. And they got Cam Ward. He's sick.
Speaking of geography, I was bouncing around on the Boston College rival site just to see what those fans were saying. First post on there. let Missouri become a slave state and Maine be a free state. Not sure what that means. And also allowed slavery to continue to exist unabated in the southern part of the country. In 2024, there will be no compromise from the North. Destroy these blank, like, I don't know what I could say, and their whiny head coach. And then there's tons of likes. They're fired up. This is a geographically war for these guys.
They're
coming to
invoking the
Columbia.
Missouri Compromise.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are. Nice. Yeah.
Well, we were not a slave. So we were half slave, half free.
It was also about, 170 years ago.
Long time ago. Yeah,
It's
long
relevant.
time ago.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to be locked into the...
Again, talking about the same things.
Sorry, James.
No, you're fine. Are you guys going to be locked into the Buffalo-UMass game this weekend?
Yeah,
To get some
Doug,
scouting?
past opponent, future opponent.
Yeah, I like what Buffalo was doing.
I got these pavers. I got to make sure these pavers are in the right place.
This weekend sucks for college football.
terrible.
Great for Missouri, though, that they got a good game. So
Yeah.
if you're a fan, it's like, go down to Columbia this weekend because you're not going to be missing another game. You
And
know?
I think it's my first 11:45 start. That's interesting.
Very
time.
random.
Yeah.
Do you know the Vanderbilt start time, or do they announce that
I don't
today?
think they have.
They haven't
I don't think
They'll
they
announce
have
it today,
announced
I
that
would
yet.
guess.
But I
But you
thought-
know it's an afternoon or night
Right.
game. You know it's
Right.
not an early morning one. Did Jackson just shout out Carolina Hurricanes Stanley Cup winning Tendy Cam Ward? That's from Mrs. Janny Shanahan.
Cam Ward also plays quarterback for the Miami Hurricanes.
But he did win a chalice with the Carolina Hurricanes.
Same guy?
Yep.
Yep.
I'll be darned.
Yep. He had eligibility left.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does Florida play A&M this weekend?
Yes.
That's somewhat interesting because of Mizzou's future matchup, and they have a
I agree
freshman
with you.
quarterback that's
That's
not
in-
going to play for Florida.
That's in Gainesville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Napier's switching up quarterbacks. The Auburn game, losing to Cal at home.
Ooh.
Not great. Mississippi State lost to Arizona State.
Who was picked last in the Big 12.
Yeah, Arkansas lost to Oklahoma State. So I'm telling you, as weird as it is, I mean, Missouri has to take care of their business. But if they are 10-2, you want Boston College to be a good team. You want A&M to pick themselves up from the, like you want A&M to beat Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
You got to get
Yeah,
A&M
yeah,
to beat
yeah, it's-
Florida. Auburn losing to Cal at home isn't a good thing.
No.
Be great
Listen, you take care of you go at 11-1,
Yeah,
you're
it
going
doesn't
in.
matter,
but 10-2, you're on the borderline, and that's why I'm monitoring these teams. And as weird as it is to be pulling for some of these schools, I'm like, man, I hope Oklahoma beats Houston.
I hope
You know what I mean?
South Carolina beats LSU this weekend. That would be huge because you got to go to South Carolina this year. That would be improve.
It's just
some
a
of those
different way
games.
watching college football now than in past years. You're watching these other games and how it can impact your schedule.
If you had to lay down money right now, how many SEC teams, Big Ten teams, maybe an independent, and then the group of five? What do you see the breakdown to be? I mean, at the
Being
beginning of the
top
season,
25.
we were thinking 4-4 from the two big conferences, right? And then the conference champs from Big 12 from the ACC, an independent and a group of five. Well, the independent, what are the independent options other than Notre Dame? I'm not privy to that.
I don't know. Who else
Lindenwood?
is-
Lindenwood's
I think
not
so.
an independent.
I think Wazoo might be in there. I don't know what the deal is with Wazoo or Oregon State.
So there might not be an independent team. The SEC looks very top heavy right now.
I'd be shocked if any of the current top three in the AP are not in there, and that's Georgia, Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Shocked there. Texas, can't remember who it was. Somebody, it was with Neuheisel or Reese Davis or Saban said, no, it wouldn't have been Saban, but saying Steve Sarkisian is building Alabama and Austin, Texas, and college football needs to be really scared, and then they go in and do what they did. But then again, is Michigan, not what they were last year, just like Florida State's not what they were last year before the Jordan Travis injury. I haven't seen Ole Miss play yet. Tennessee, that was really impressive.
Yeah.
And Tennessee with the defense, I know people don't know about NC State. I understand that, but NC State had some kind of sneaker energy, kind of like Virginia Tech had some sneaker energy, and Vanderbilt won the way that they won against them in overtime. I know it was Alcorn State, but they won 58-0. They're actually getting votes in the top 25, Missouri's opponent the following week. Penn State had their issues with Bowling Green. They're currently number 8. I'm not sure about Penn State. I don't know what's going on with Oregon.
Dylan Gabriel has not looked good.
I don't know what the deal with that is.
They've had to fight.
I did
back
watch
to back.
weirdly, I watched part of the Idaho game. I watched a little of the Boise State game, but I mean, it was so late. I'm shutting it down at that point. And then Miami at 2-0. I get that the thing over Florida was big, but nobody was high on Florida.
But they should win the ACC and get a bye with given that Florida State and Clemson are probably not going to be.
Let's see, what are the odds on the other ACC teams? Miami's plus 160, Clemson plus 275.
Right.
Louisville plus 500. I have seen nothing from Louisville. I haven't seen them play. I mean, they're number 19 in the country. NC State's plus 1,200. Virginia Tech's plus 1,400. SMU, who lost to BYU at home on Friday night. Georgia Tech, Syracuse, North Carolina, and Boston. I'm just telling you, if Boston, I mean, I'm not saying Boston College is great. I'm just saying there's a chance. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
That's how I think. I think in
ACC
terms of probability, not this is the play. 45-1 on your money for that conference.
Yeah.
I would much rather have Boston College at plus 4,500. Let me put it that way, than Missouri at plus 1,400 to win the SEC.
Agreed. Big time.
You see
absolutely
what I'm.
But I'm wondering right now, how do you get 4 Big Ten teams in? You had Penn State. I know they won, but they really looked. They were up against the wall. You had Iowa lose to Iowa State. You had Michigan get embarrassed on their home turf, albeit against a great team. But I mean, Ohio State's the only shoe-in right now from the Big Ten, right? And you have Georgia. You're going to think Georgia, Texas, for sure, and then a combination of Ole Miss, Alabama, Tennessee, and Missouri to make up the other 2 to 3 teams in the SEC. But the Big Ten right now, I don't know how they're getting 4 teams in. They
Even not in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. That's a legitimate.
That was the thing. I said there was something on game day that really stood out to me, and then you saw how it played out. Herb Street said they will be 7-0 when they play Iowa.
Yeah, they have a pretty light schedule.
So he is. But he's adamant that they've turned that thing around. Matt Rule's turned that thing around. So he was adamant on that. I just found some nuggets, and Reese Davis being as demonstrative as he was regarding Michigan, Texas. I'm like, that isn't the way Reese Davis usually rolls, you know? And he was all over that. So those guys were hitting. I mean, if you were on Nebraska, if you were on Texas, Saban was on Georgia Tech the week before. They've been hitting it right now on their plays on College Game Day. James, always appreciate the conversation, sir. Enjoy the festivities this Saturday in Columbia, Missouri. Doug, look, it's James Carlton.
All right, fellas.
There he is, James Carlton, CarltonInsurance.net. James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. Send your emails in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Our prize, winning a pair of tickets to Blues and Brews, Friday, September 20th, at the Anheuser-Busch Brewery, an outdoor street party featuring live music from country music star Matt Stell and St. Louis' own Charles Glenn Group. That is Friday, September 20th. We are in our 5P Academy and Hustle and Heart Sports Performance 9 o'clock hour here on TMA, which will feature the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Kevin Miller, your leader here on September 9th, 2024. Jackson, what's coming up on Balloon Party? Doug likes to tune in, but he wants to know what's coming up.
Yeah, wrap up the weekend with the Little Pillows weekend wrap up.
Oh, really?
Taking a look at taking stock.
Most shows aren't going to do that.
Yeah, we're going to take stock of what we saw over the weekend and prioritize
Take stock in it.
Yeah, and then we'll prioritize it based on our discussions.
Oh, God.
What surprised you? What took you by surprise? What did you see coming? Yes, sports.
Yep.
So that kind of thing.
That's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, we'll be looking at the gridiron, the baseball diamond, whatever.
It's no wonder it's the most talked about show in St. Louis.
Thank you very much.
A lot of buzz.
They elevate your performance with Pure Performance, your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, and they're known for their top quality work and outstanding customer service. After 40 years of outfitting the best-dressed vehicles in the St. Louis and St. Charles areas, you can trust that your prize investment is in great hands at Pure Performance. The 25,000-square-foot facility houses the largest showroom in the area where you can find anything and everything you might need to enhance your vehicle. It's 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles, or go online at pureperformance.com. That's PURperformance.com. Pure Performance at Pure Performance. You don't ever have to worry about paying for parts or services you don't need. When it comes to repairs, you can count on them to recommend only what your vehicle actually requires. That's 40 years of outfitting the best-dressed vehicles in the St. Louis and St. Charles areas with a 25,000-square-foot facility. Pure Performance at 3725 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in St. Charles, or visit pureperformance.com, PURperformance.com. And that's what you should be thinking about. I hope you are thinking about it. Now, as you think about it, what's resonating?
I can't think about anything else but that now. So I'll just sit over here and contemplate, if you don't mind.
All right, fine. Nobody who's... Go ahead.
Sorry, no, that was my bad.
Nobody who's realistic around here was or is high on Michigan. Offensive line's all new, and neither of their starting quarterbacks have looked good at all. but the boy holes are filled with chunky soup, Doug? That's from the Doo-Doo Man.
What does that even mean?
You're drunk at 2 in the morning and want to be with an African American quarterback. Here's my number.
He had a connection for that?
I guess so. He was a pimp.
Didn't Harbaugh used to do a chunky soup commercial with his mom?
I guess that's what that's about.
That's a way callback.
Chunky soup. I enjoy chunky soup.
Dan Lanning should have bounced to Bama when his stock was high. That's from Chunk and the Chuck. Doug Dan Lanning.
Okay. Yeah, boy, he blew it. Yeah, he really blew it.
I would watch out for UMass as an independent going into the college football playoff. That's from Marty Monogamy.
I wouldn't watch out for that.
Here they come.
Are there enough players to go around in Massachusetts for Boston College and UMass to both be playoff teams?
Well, they've taken on 2 opponents, the UMass Minutemen, and they have defeated neither of them. Eastern Michigan took their measure, and then the Glass City, Toledo.
Glass City.
38-23.
Okay.
Yes, the old Civil War hot takes. This is why I don't often like to associate with some Mizzou fans. The amount of Hoosier really comes out the better the team gets. That's from the Crestwood Coyote. Is there a direct correlation between the amount of Hoosier and the quality of the football team?
Well, it could be that more people get interested in it, and a lot of Missouri is Hoosier. So I guess the bigger crowd you have from Missouri, the more likely you are to get infested with the Hoosier. That'd be my guess.
Makes sense.
Get infested with the Hoosier.
Yeah, if you don't have to get very far out of St. Louis and Kansas City, either one, and you're hip deep in Hoosierdom. So if the whole state is jumping on the Tiger bandwagon, yes, there's going to be a higher Hoosier factor.
That drop doesn't work.
Well, what are you trying to play?
You're un-American.
There we go.
Oh.
That's not the drop I wanted, but whatever.
It worked. Whatever. Okay.
It was a drop.
Ruin me.
Oh, now who was that?
Patty.
Perk?
Yeah.
Hey, Chairman, how's the IQ test thing going?
I threw out some dates to the competitors. We've locked down a few of them. We're still waiting word from one more.
Oh, who's not getting back to you? Little Beer Cats?
No,
sure
he's...
Ziggy, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it's working with Wacko's daughter.
It's a tight read.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she faded
Perk
me.
actually got back?
Mm-hmm.
And Worsonwood's Wacko's daughter's fading you?
Yeah, she didn't get back to my last text.
Doug.
Well, she doesn't get in.
So she's out.
She doesn't seem interested.
No, she didn't seem terribly interested. You doing any studying, Iggy? Anything to sharpen your
I
brain?
don't believe you can study for an IQ test.
Nah, I don't think studying would do you much good.
Oh.
Probably right.
Not you, anybody, really. I've looked over some of the questions. It's not real studyable material.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a muscle. You can start to work it out again.
Work that muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doug, how about this thought? The Venn diagram of Mizzou fans and Hoosiers is a perfect circle. That's from Doug's prison wallet.
Oh. Okay.
Appreciate Lenny tossing me some money. I'm going to keep the shirt on, but appreciate that.
It's a big miss.
Colonel had his post-game show. He's still only taking voicemails. We have a supercut of Gabe's voicemails from the post-game show following the Buffalo game.
Like to hear it. All right, go ahead, hit the lever.
Hey, Gabe, this is Big Steve over in Gladstone, your future timeshare co-owner. Hey, I'm going to try to keep this thing under 30 seconds, a lot like my lovemaking sessions with my wife, but I got a couple things to say. First off, how about them Chiefs? And then second of all, man, I think Theo Weiss coming back was just a huge thing that we overlooked in the offseason. He is phenomenal. And then finally, that defense is just looking sharp. Thanks, Gabe.
Excellent call, Steve.
And then 3 is Drew Pine's a better quarterback than Brady Cook. That's just all there is to it.
All right, so let's take those one by one. Appreciate the call.
That aside, and the real reason I called you was to talk about last week's voicemails. My favorite caller last week was the guy that said Mizzou was going to 20 straight playoffs. I need to drink a beer or 6 with that guy.
What was that edit there at the end?
All right, I lost the sound. I'm not sure why.
are you guys still hearing this voicemail? Because I am not. All right, so
Off and running.
nobody's hearing the voicemail, so we're good. First of all, I agree with the commenter that said the voicemails need more alcohol. Totally agree. Look, you guys begged and begged for years, bring back the calls. And, like, I appreciate the voicemails we're getting. It's awesome of you guys. But, like, we need the energy level up, guys. Voicemail line's got to pick up, right?
Colonel, then go live, Colonel.
That's what I'm saying.
Gabe didn't have the spine to play my voicemail.
Oh, did you leave one?
Yeah, I was driving home from Columbia listening live, and I sent him one.
You start screaming at him?
It was actually mic drop-esque.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What were you unhappy with? I can see there was a lot to be unhappy with.
The uniforms.
Yeah. Makes sense. That's why I didn't play it.
My goal is to crack his fortress each and every week.
Put your name in there. He'll do it.
Week 1, I got in.
You say KG from the morning after. He'll put it on.
Well, my YouTube, he goes through YouTube, and my YouTube account is the D'Angelo account, so...
Do you like D'Angelo? Brown Sugar? Remember that? Was that 96?
I don't know what year it was.
That's a sick jam.
Oh, sick jam.
Okay.
The Stones remake?
No, different.
So you leave these mic drops while you're driving?
Yeah, I can go hands-free,
Can
boy.
you? Okay. And then you listen to see if he plays it, and he didn't play it.
Right.
And now you're disappointed in him.
Angry as a hornet, even.
I mean, if he wants an entertaining show, you go to the calls. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Unless he's trying to make it
I
professional.
told you. That's what happens when you go to the net. That's what happens when you want to play hard. That's what you do when you have the want to.
Mm-hmm.
What year did you say on Brown Sugar?
I got 96.
95.
Mizzou fans are the same people who love the Lake of the Ozarks. That's some wedding tackle.
Oh,
In fact, they're attacking the Missouri people now.
I'm sure there are lots of Mizzou fans at Lake of the Ozarks. They're all over Missouri. Why would that surprise someone?
It's from wedding tackle.
Okay.
Ken doesn't like Perk because she said the learned gifts were weird because she's married. Go to the tape. That's from Harrison's brother, Master Jackson. Do you have the tape?
Oh, maybe I did say it. What is that? Why do you think I don't like her? I love Perk.
Harrison's brother, Master. The action's back on you.
She's
Cal, your
fun
taps
when
and
she
phone
comes
lines.
You still sending gifts to learn?
No.
Well, there were a few, right? There's a stuffed animal there at one point.
Don't make it fool of yourself. You know I did.
Well,
What are you asking for?
I'm just trying to refresh everyone's memory.
Did you go see her at her event on Friday, Iggy?
She had an event?
Yeah,
No,
case she was out at 9 Mile Garden in Afton. Learn Returns party.
No, I was going to Yale and I had to sleep.
I was there.
How was it?
It was great.
You went to Learn's event?
Yeah, it's in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
It looked like a nice place. I've never been in. Is it 9 Mile?
Yeah, 9 Mile Garden. Super cool.
You could have had a putting contest out on that patio.
Okay. And Learn was there as the featured act. Huh?
Yeah, she was doing, I think she was live on the air out there, but she was taking pictures and they were selling merch.
Yeah, she was doing her show, and Favaz did his show from out there. And they do that every once in a while, a pop-up tent where they sell merch.
Okay.
Nice.
I went, they had one last year, and I said, I'm going to come out. And there was a line around the building. I thought it was to get in. I couldn't find a place to park. So Lauren said, I thought you were coming out. I said, I couldn't find a place to park. The line was around the building. She goes, that was for the merch. There was no line to get inside. So I didn't know that. Yeah, those merch pop-ups, they do a tremendous business.
Do they? They sell Casey merch?
Mm-hmm.
You've got a Casey sweater on today.
I do. It was a little chilly this morning, so I put a hoodie on.
Just booked the Stephen Wildwood match. You just said you couldn't go to your biggest crush's event because you had to sleep. Some Dogtown tie, and he's getting frustrated. He's won the Fan Page Club Championship back-to-back
Not
years.
happy at all.
Well, I took a nap. I don't take a lot of naps, but...
Lodo equals Destin North. Doug, do you consider Lake of the Ozarks to be Destin North?
I don't. I've never really thought about it. I think Destin's probably a little nicer than the Lake of the Ozarks.
Uh-oh. Welcome to Team Jackson.
Yeah.
not going to play well for you.
Let me ask you, this would probably be more for...
Gorgeous beaches and everything?
This is probably more for Doug. But I always thought when you get older...
That would be for me, then.
You would take more naps. I used to love taking naps. Even in my 30s, 40s, I just open a window and just take a nap, like 3 hours. And I can't nap anymore.
I know, I'm super tired.
Well, because you're probably not tired enough. You haven't pushed your body to be tired enough to take these naps. You've got plenty of sleep, so you need to be out there exercising instead of napping.
Well, I go to bed at 9:30, so you would think 8 hours sleep. I probably sleep for like 4 of it. I'm always waking up, tossing and turning.
Oh, no.
My mind's always racing. I can't just go straight to bed. I go to bed and I'm always thinking about
What are you
things.
thinking about?
What are you thinking
Just
about?
anything. Just my mind just can't shut my mind off.
That prostate
I
tingle.
am tired.
No, I very rarely get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Mine's tingling right now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
You're doing a little dance and pee-pee dance?
Milk it. Pee-pee
Well, would
dance.
you like to excuse yourself and go real quick?
Someone's got to man the switches, bro.
Can we cut the nap talk and get the emails?
You need me to come in there, Jackson?
It's from Lord of Lafayette. Chairman.
I think he does. He's doing a pee-pee dance.
Yeah, look at that. What's going on with you, boy?
Oh, go!
Transform your story at Illinois Recovery Center. At Illinois Recovery Center, the team believes in the strength of every individual's journey to recovery. Whether you're taking the first step or continuing your path, the IRC's dedicated team's here to support you. Why choose Illinois Recovery Center? A holistic healing approach, expert care and guidance, safe and welcoming environment, tailored programs for lasting recovery, and top-notch facility and accommodation. Whether you've made the life-saving choice to seek help on your own or you want to be prepared for the other end of an addiction intervention with a loved one, the chance to learn about addiction recovery is available to you at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea. If you or someone you know wants more information about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or visit IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Designer Eating and Cooling Email of the Day! Being the GOAT in this sport doesn't necessarily equate to being a great broadcaster, unless it's Tim McKernan at Golf and HD2 Radio. Looks like we should just start calling him Rick James because he was a man on fire today. But this email's about another super freak, my buddy Butchie. October 30th, 1991, big ball tag game in my buddy Ralph's backyard. With the cool fall weather, that number 4 size soccer ball stung a little bit. Ralph's dad had just hit Butchie with a real stinger, and Butchie was none too happy about it. Butchie closed his eyes and counted to 30. As we all scattered, I noticed Mr. Campbell just standing there drinking out of the bottle of peppermint schnapps. It was though he wanted to get caught. And then Butchie yelled it, "Ready or not, here I come." And he did. About 5 minutes later, he hit Mr. Campbell in his already naked butt from point-blank range.
Oh.
When Mr. Campbell bent over to pick up the ball, it was apparent he had a suspect equilibrium. The guy got stuck with his hands on the ground and his haunches protruding toward the sky. And then the plot thickened in Butchie's pant. The previous stinger had given Butchie a reflexogenic pain-induced erection, and he just slammed him from behind, crashing his custard truck
No.
into Mr. Campbell's man cave. It must have been painful because he was screaming for mercy, and his eyes looked like he had just watched that scene where Dumbo's mom was locked in that cage as his eyes turned into waterworks. That's from Han Solo Sesh.
I guys, no one swear.
He's off. Hans Solo
Sesh.
Hans Solo. Well, he's new.
Was there a lot of gay sex in the 1980s and 90s in South County?
I don't believe so, no.
Miller found it.
God almighty.
I don't believe so, no.
Gentlemen, hello. I don't think I'll stand for your criticism of America's team getting boat raced by a regional Illinois vocational trade school today. My Notre Dame fandom, despite not attending the college and not walking in the footsteps of the Lord, simply will not allow for me to put up with it. You want to insult Notre Dame, then you're going to have to go through me. Come at me. Slowly crawl towards me with your trunk in the air. Let's do this. Put that finger in my chest if you want to ridicule a team that hasn't been good for 12 years. Now, work that callous finger up to my lips. Mwah! Flinch as I give that finger a little boop of a kiss. Want to take this to the ground, punk? Let's lock arms and grapple. Just some good old-fashioned roughhouse in the name of Jesus in football. Pin me, pin me, pin me. Keep my shoulders down, and I'll bridge my back so we can touch naughties. All my totally not pent-up aggression and religious constraints will now manifest itself in a masculine anger. Open-mouthed anger. Had enough yet? Yeah, thought so. Maybe next time you'll think twice before insulting my team, America's team, Catholicism's team. You can keep the panties in my First Communion banner forever yours. That's from Pastor Peppers. Juan Peppers, no relation.
Pastor Peppers. Juan Peppers, no relation. He's new.
My pronouns are will, it, and fit. I was listening to the show this morning with my significant other, and she opted to voice her opinion. I wasn't happy that she started talking without me giving her permission, but I let it slide. I'm trying to be more positive. She said, "Who is that guy with the deep, sexy voice? I'm a little embarrassed to say that I'm turned on right now by it." I chuckled. I said, "Listen here, babe, I get it. I walk in the office every day, bricked up, listening to this." I said, "His name is Tim McKernan, and everybody is turned on by him. He's the best, and I'm glad you finally felt comfortable enough to admit it. But don't worry, he thinks girls are yucky to be with, but wonderful to watch with each other." She said, "No, dummy. This one sounds like he would get a woman pregnant just by being close to her in a room. Major sex appeal." I said, "Oh, that's Doug Vaughn. Your mom probably fantasized about him for the last 20 years watching the nightly sports recap on Channel 4. In fact, that might be the reason your parents got divorced." Well, that did it. Now we're fighting, and it's thanks to Doug's sex appeal. Note to Jackson, if you end up getting married, make sure to sign a prenup where Doug Vaughn cannot be the reason for any future divorce. Mondays for me like the sexy robot.
The sexy robot.
I stand with Ken. You fats aren't out there repairing ball marks at a charity tournament, although the tire tracks from golf carts or actual cars are a bit more troublesome. I stand with Ken. He was the secretary for an organization where he refused to take notes, which launched him to the role of president, where he sometimes remembers to make the meetings, illustrating the Dilbert principle of failing upwards. I stand with Ken. You guys haven't come up with something as clever and transformative as Home Slice. I stand with Ken. Shooter McGavin, the vice president of Ziploc Bags of Fusion.
Shooter McGavin.
Nice, buddy.
How was my weekend? To say things went poorly would be an understatement. My karate instructor, Dale, ripped my backside to shreds after some miscommunication. On 2 separate occasions, Dale failed to cease his aggressive pounding when I uttered the safe words. On Friday, our safe word was jackhammer. My tush was aching pretty badly, so I kept yelling, "Jackhammer, Sensei Dale, jackhammer." He thought I wanted him to go harder and faster. Simple mix-up, but my beehole was barking, to say the least. On Saturday, our safe word was laugh. When I was on the verge of a complete prolapse, I started chuckling to signal my desire for a withdrawal. I loudly cackled, "Ha-ha, tee-hee." Again, Sensei Dale misunderstood. He was waiting for me to say the actual word laugh, and he thought I was giggling because it felt good. The penetration did not feel good, though. In fact, it felt like someone was forcefully inserting something on my butt. Guess you could say I earned my brown belt the hard way.
Oh.
So I'm the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach, particularly vile.
And
any that aren't vile? Swope, maybe?
Yeah, here, that's what I got, actually.
Okay.
We're sitting here again talking about the same things. Sadie Hawkins, Doug. The Cardinals dropped 2 of 3 to the Mariners in six games out of the third wild card, but that don't matter because they declared their intent to compete for the watered-down MLB postseason. Mizzou covered the spread like the Dickens, but the Fats and the bleachers weren't sitting in their proper seats. Notre Dame lost at home to effing Northern Illinois, but hell, they's on scholarship too. The New York Giants have nothing to hold their heads down about except the fact they didn't play well and looked awful in their hideous uniforms on camp day. But I think the lead is that Colorado's Shakira Sanders didn't look hurt in the clip Iggy watched where he walked off the field with 2 minutes left in the game. Ours is the type of presentation where serial masturbators feel free to drop in at any time and recap their boring weekend and then challenge a fellow serial masturbator to a golf rematch. But the old pervert with nothing on his calendar won't commit because it might be too cold, and he wants to keep his options open in case he decides to spend the day cuddled up in his hovel trying to earn a Batwing 8 golf club. Up next, we have a gentleman who waited on hold through a call that seemed like it would never end so he could drop multiple Italian slurs in reference to his wife as soon as he got on the air. Okay, gotta go now. There's a former WNBA player I need to trash on Twitter and then bop on over to a golf tournament for the charitable organization organization that I'm the president of, but don't actually do any work. Doug, that's Buck Swope.
Buck Swope in a nice little email today. Well, none really stood out as this is the one I absolutely have to vote for. So I guess I'll give it to Han Solo Sesh.
I didn't trash Cheryl Swoops. I just pointed something out. Since she's wrong on stats, I pointed out a stat that was right. His emails are usually the same, but if he can add a phrase that I really enjoy, each one I will vote for him. So when you say custard truck, Kevin Miller's got my vote.
That was my exact reasoning, as a matter of fact. It would have been unanimous on Solo Sesh. And it was because of that custard truck.
Why would it be a truck?
Big wide butt.
Oh, it's hot, man.
Oh, it isn't hot. There's nothing about it that's hot.
Who knew that Crestwood was the Castro district in the early 1990s?
I don't think that it was.
Turns out it was.
No, Central West End, maybe.
Jackson and I are going to go down and we're going to deal with it. And they will not. Jackson, what's going on over there? Doug, what's going on?
First, he has to excuse himself to go to the little boys. You're just a little champion this morning.
What just happened?
Water went down the wrong pipe.
Oh.
Weeping.
I hate that. Yeah. I'm on this peanut kick lately.
We're waiting till now to get to this.
I'm sorry. I'll save that for tomorrow.
Tease that.
Save it for the post show.
Tease it for tomorrow.
Pepper and Genie. Time for us to go. For Jackson, Bennett, Burkett, Chairman Kurt, Kenneth Iggy Strode, my brother Kevin, and Douglas Elvin, Vaughn, and Tim McKernan. This has been TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Introducing the first ever TMA Banty Brew, a 16-ounce canned wheat ale with orange and coriander and an image of all four TMA